Well, good evening, racing fans. Welcome to Racing Action from Grand River Raceway for this Monday evening. Our first dash will go to post in approximately 17 minutes. A nice Monday evening here in beautiful Elora, Ontario. Let's get a look at the changes on this evening's card of racing. We have 10 races for your horse racing enjoyment. And race number 1. Scratches of 4 and 5. Note 4, 7 summers ago, and 5 Cosmic Crisp are scratched. Scratch 4 and 5. In race number 2, number 1 Esquire, changing equipment, blinkers to blind bridle, and also steel to aluminum shoes up front. Steel to aluminum shoes up front. Number 5, Century Isaiah, flip-flops to aluminum shoes up front. And barefoot to aluminum behind. Barefoot to aluminum behind. Race 3, no changes. No changes, race 3. Race number 4 is a scratch. Race 4 scratch. And in the 5th race, note that number 8, Esmeralda Dulac, is scratch the 8 from the 5th. Race number 6 scratched is number 5, Cooper's Hill. Race 6 scratched number 5, Cooper's Hill. Race number 7, number 4, Wild River Bumblebee, opened to Swedish Blind. And in note to number 6, Sir A, no missing line, did not race, was just an also eligible. In race number 8, there were no changes. Race 9, no changes. And race 10 will go as programmed, no changes, race 10. Once again, reviewing races 1 and 2. Race number 1, scratches of 4 and 5, 7 summers ago, in Cosmic Crisp. And the second race, 1 Esquire, equipment changes, blinkers to blind bridle and steel to aluminum shoes up front, and 5 Century Isaiah, flip-flops to aluminum shoes up front and barefoot to aluminum shoes up front, or on the back. 14 minutes to post time to race number 1. Time to welcome in our co-host, handicapping expert, Sugar Doyle. Well, Sugar, we're back with harness racing. We had the doggies here on Friday evening, the little wiener dogs, and that was fun, although I got to tell you, I really butchered announcing them. They're hard to announce.
Well, it's tough to keep an eye on all of them, right? And there were some close finishes for sure, but they put on a heck of a show. And dog and race fans, they all came out to support the dogs and horses. And what a crowd!
Yeah, it was really outstanding. And I just wished I could have lived up to the moment, because I got to tell you, I was all wrong on them. Just, it's hard, like you're just looking at it and you don't know what you saw, and it's just.
Well, I'll tell you what, we have them here in London, and there's a gentleman that owns a wiener dog. He's part of our team. Rob loves it. He's the guy that calls those. He's the expert.
Oh, we get.
I liken it to the quarter horses. Horses that'll race about 12 seconds through the stretch, and they go everywhere, and it's tough to call those as well.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to bring him in here. I think one idea, we need the announcer to be down trackside, because up here, just too far removed from it. If you're down there, maybe you could fix on it a little bit better.
That's where he calls them from. He is right down there. He's giving them the word go, and he's calling the action. He does a great job with it, and it's a whole lot of fun.
Well, I'll go with that as my excuse for just being not up to the moment. You know what? I am up to the moment tonight, because I've looked over this program. I got to get going here. So far this year, I don't think I've been holding up my end of the bargain with the picks. And thank God that you've been holding up your end.
Hey, It's not easy. Start of a brand new meet. I say it every October when we come back into London. You know, the horses are coming in from different tracks, and you're unaware of some form reversals a lot of the time. But I, I've been doing okay just to start this meet. I think there was one night last week though I might have went 1 for 10. But you know what? You just got to turn the page and move on.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, one thing early in the meet, you mentioned a couple times that you thought this track was very front end specific. I think now, if you look at it, you can say it plays pretty honest. You can win from off the front, but you can definitely come from off the pace. And we've seen some horses come from off the pace. I think it plays pretty straight up, and post positions don't matter as much.
Not at all. Post positions. The only one that I wouldn't really back a lot of the time is that trailing post. But you can win from that 5, 6, 7, 8 hole, no problem. We've seen lots of gate blasting from there. We saw a 2-year-old last week come home in 26 and 4. I mean, aged horses have not showed that kind of speed on the end of a mile. So maybe it's something that we'll see going forward. Quicker final quarters would be great to see. But you know what? It's that long straightaway following the half where they're putting up big third quarter panels.
Yeah, and also, of course, the big key here is the way where they start and the big long run to the first turn. So if you're on the outside and you got one that can leave, don't worry that you drew on the outside. Just, in fact, you're going on a straighter line heading to the turn.
Pretty much, yeah. That's why we've seen 25, 26 quarters. Kind of the norm here for some nice horses to show up and do 26 and even have some 53 and 4. But yeah, when they come out of the turn for a start, they've got such a long straightaway and then the big turn they go into, right? So you're going to see quick quarters throughout the race meet. And tonight, we get a look at some 2-year-old pacing Colts and Fillies for some prospect series action. And always exciting to see the rookies getting underway.
Well, we'll be back with you at about 7 minutes to post time. We'll get a look at a pick five ticket and see if you can give the fans a pick five to start off their night.
Winback Farm of Ontario is home to outstanding sires, including a 3-time millionaire pacer tattoo artist who is new in 2025, the last great son of the legendary Some Beach Somewhere and multiple stakes champion Beachglass, Meadowlands Pace and Ontario Sire Stakes champion Lawless Shadow, and the richest pacing stallion in all of harness racing history, the great Hall of Famer Mick Wicked. Also standing at Winback Farm, Archangel, Better Than Cheddar, Betting Line, My MVP, and Trixton. For more information, visit winbackfarm.com.
Hi, folks. Welcome back to the show. You're watching Grand River Raceway, Monday evening, a 10-dash card, including some 2-year-old Colts and Pacers for some Prospect Series action, leg one. And just before we get into some pick 5 ticket ideas, I should let you know there is a high five carryover going into the early high five tonight. Race number 5, winning combination was not sold in the finale on Friday night. Almost $3,000 in carryover money added to the race 5 non-jackpot high five play. Well worth taking a look and taking a shot on the high five carryover in play, race number 5 to end this early pick 5. And we are going to get a look now at some pick 5 ticket ideas. A couple of scratches in the opening leg, the 4 and 5. Both came out of race number 1. This is a $5,000 guaranteed pool. Pick 5 play, part of the go-to wagering menu at the River. Let's bring on some ticket ideas. First ticket we look at, it's yours truly. I've got 2, Molly's on Fire, and 3, DeVuto's Shadow. To start things up, the 2-horse trained by Jason Libby, the 3-horse trained by Susie Kerwood. I like the 2 and 3 to begin this pick 5 play. The 1 is the current favorite. I left that one off the ticket. Hope I'm not kicking myself after race number 1, but it's 2 and 3 for me to get through the opening leg of this pick 5 play. Race number 2, I'm going to single up number 7, Serenity Cruise, on the class drop factor, and needed that last start after missing a bit of time, and pretty strong effort to finish second best in 57 and 2. Coulter stays on board for trainer Don Lindsay. Number 7, Serenity Cruise, as my big circle around him in race number 2. He's my key play to get through leg 2 of the pick 5. Trotters continuing in the 3rd. That's where I've gone deepest of all. I'm using 5 of them in there, hoping for a price, of course. 1, 2, 4, 5, and 7 are the 5. I'll back in the 3rd, and back to 40 in the 4th race as we switch to Pacers. Captain Sassy on the rail, career debut for that filly, trained by Greg McNair, who's done some great things at the River thus far on the meet. Also including number 3, All In, the 6, Mo Wicket, and number 7, Tempting. On the end of it, race number 5, again, the high five carryover play, non-jackpot, of course. In the 5th race, I'm trying 3, Stampa, and 6, Drill Bit Penny. I'm in for $16 even on a 20-cent ticket. And my pal Gary Guy standing by, because he's got a pick 5 ticket idea to talk about. And what do you got for us, Gary?
Well, I'm only spending about half as much money, a little less than half, $7.20. I'm with you in the first race. And
Cool.
got both of Molly's on Fire and DeVuto's Shadow. And then in the second race, I've got to add Esquire, because I love Esquire.
Always.
And look, didn't race well up at Georgian, but they're changing the equipment. Raced really well here 2 starts ago, back in this class. Really blasted out and was pretty solid. And beaten by Give Me Carrots. It was an interesting play there. But still, I think we'll bounce back here with the equipment change, makes it interesting. You have 5 of them in the 3rd, and I see that. That's why I went 3 deep. But we both like PL Canella on top, but I've also got My Holy Moly and Maestro Sealster. And then in the 4th race, look, I flipped the order with 3 of the horses, but do love All In. But nonetheless, you got to have Tempting, and that's your top one, and also Captain Sassy. I just left off Mo Wicked, and look, Mo Wicked is one that the last couple weren't good, but Curly could bounce back because you show a decent win at Hanover 3 back. So, and Mo Wicked might be a nice price play. And then in the 5th race where you went 2 deep, I narrowed it even down to just 1. Drill Bit Penny, our top pick. Both of us like the 6. I just only went 1 deep just to keep it cheaper. So I could have gone with you with the 6 and 3 there, and make it 14.40. But no, come on, man. I'm drilling down on the 5th race with Drill Bit Penny.
Are you ever?
What do you think?
Nice one.
It's a cheaper ticket.
Yeah, she gets a pretty good shot in there. She's got some gate speed noticeably already, and a pretty good combination. Sammy with Gerard Demers, right?
Yes, absolutely. And look, we got time to squeeze in a Conley pick, and you can comment on
Yeah,
Conley's picks because Conley sometimes has some interesting picks.
he does too. He kind of goes outside the box at times. He's going to go four deep in the opening leg with those 2-year-old pacing fillies in the opener. He's using a 1, 2, 3, and 6. So I think Conley's got no trouble getting through leg one. Over to race number 2, I mentioned he likes to go outside the box, and here he is going to 4, double dipping, and 6. Handsome Hank. Then over to race number 3, he's on 4, Maestro Sealster from the center. Then he went outside the number 7, Stonebridge Zeus. I've got that one pegged as a dark one in there and should be offering up a price with Austin Sorey on board. Conley, Ecclestone going 40 in race number 4 with the 1, 3, 7, and 8. And then he's found a single. So this is something. I go 3-6 to end the pick 5 play. You single up the 6 drill bit penny. Conley singles up 3 Stampa. So we're all kind of in the same vicinity in that final leg of the pick 5 play. Conley's in for $12.80. This is a $5,000 guaranteed pool pick 5, part of the go-to wagering lineup at Grand River Raceway. Best of luck to all racing and playing along tonight.
Field on the first race post parade. 1 EA Hazel, Stuart Sowerby for Ryan Smith. And number 2, Molly's on Fire, semi-filia for Jason Libby, Laurie Keeling, and Matthew Bassett. Number 3 is Devuto's Shadow, Jason Ryan for Suzanne Kerwood and Frank Brundle. 4 and 5 are scratched. Number 6, More to Love, Garrett Rooney for Lindsay Kerr and Sean Downey and Stu McIntosh. And Lindsay Kerr shares in ownership. And number 7, The Waltzing Weasel, Austin Sorey for Rodney Hughes and Sarah Emery and Elaine Stogg. And it is now a field of 5 for race number 1. Let's get a look at this field. And, well, some of the cappers have a different opinion. You've got the 3 on top. I got the 2. I saw Kenny Middleton had the 4, but that was scratched. And now Kenny's got the 1. EA Hazel. And look, also, Kenny had a couple of training wins at Georgian Downs last night. So Kenny's rolling in a little bit of dough.
Sunday night for Kenny. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah, you could back the 1 here with a little bit of his winnings last night. I was happy that Kenny got a couple home. Daryl Thiessen kept it hot. In fact, he's in a bit of a slump. He had 6 here Friday, and then 4 on Saturday, 2 in the afternoon and 2 in the evening. And last night he only had 3 wins, so he's slumping. Let's get a look at this here.
Only 3?
Yeah,
wow.
only 3. He's in a slump. Number 3, Devoto's Shadow, Jason Ryan for Suzanne Kerwood. First-time starter. You've gone to this one on top.
Yeah, I like this Daughter of Shadow play. Was already at Grand River Raceway for the first qualifier back in mid-June and came back to be a decent second over the big track of Woodbine Mohawk Park on June 27th. Home of 28 and 1 there for a trip in 57 and 4. Does have speed to work with. And Jason Ryan, one of my favorite drivers to back at the river. And this filly looks all right.
Yeah, a good final quarter. 28 and 1, and also left a little bit. So also used leaving and then still had something left. and Devoto Shadow. You get a nicer price of 9-2 because your second choice, my top one, number 2, Molly's on Fire. And I mentioned Devoto Shadow, a first-time starter. All of them except for E.A. Hazel are first-time starters. Molly's on Fire, nice final quarter in that qualifier.
Indeed, home in 27-2. Both her qualifiers have come over Woodbine Mohawk Park, so debuting at the river, this daughter of Sunfire, Blue Chip, Sammy Filion, been doing some great things at Grand River Raceway since the start of the meet, and he's a driver you'd want to keep an eye on all night long, and it could happen for Sammy right off the bat. 9-5 is all right. I kind of like 7-2 better on 3, though, Gary.
It is a nicer price because I thought they're pretty close. I couldn't decide. One, E.A. Hazel, though, has been taking the most money since the beginning of the cycle. And one thing I mentioned, this is the only one that's had a start.
Yeah, right. The most experienced 2-year-old filly in here, daughter of Better's Delight. And I remember what you said last week. Georgian Downs, not quite as quick as a Grand River Raceway. So this is an all right try for her in her debut, where she came from 5th, 6 lengths back at the half of just a minute 3/5, and she closed up well. She passed a couple of horses and paced the back half likely in 58 seconds and a mile in 2 minutes. So I can get behind her. I just can't get behind her to win it at 3-2.
Yeah, and in that first start, didn't leave a bunch, but at least you see the back half was pretty solid. So E.A. Hazel, I think, is definitely got to be a consideration. Stuart Sowerby, not driving a lot this year, 16 starts, but got a 361 driving average, and Stuart's got 3 training wins in 7 starts, so he's put up some numbers. And then where do you want to go? You probably G Money or Austin Story. Boy, good drivers to choose from.
That, you know what? I think I'd go with the 7 to round out the superfecta. Longest shot on the board, Austin Sorry doesn't mind sending them from an outside post, and that's what we've got with the Waltzing Weasel. How about that?
I love that name. Although I would probably end up going to the 6 only because I love me some Lindsay Kerr. She always manages to get something out of her horses. That's a 373 training average. Tough to leave off a super in a 5-horse field.
Her horses are always in the hunt on the half-botters and 5/8 tracks of Ontario, and she does all right when she visits Mohawk every once in a while as well.
It's a field of 5 for race number 1. Still battling that throat issue, but we're getting through. And E.A. Hazel taking up their positions with Molly's on Fire. In the center, Devoto's Shadow. And to the outside, it is More to Love and the Waltzing Weasel, as the field is wending their way towards the start of race number 1. Field for the first race on a Monday night at the river. And the field for race number 1, Prospect Series. 2-year-old filly Pacers at the start in the rough, and the Waltzing Weasel comes out very quickly. The Waltzing Weasel is going to lead by about 2.5 lengths right now. E.A. Hazel is second, and then Devoto's Shadow, Molly's on Fire, and More to Love is racing 5th. But they race past the opening quarter, 12-1. The Waltzing Weasel leads for Austin Sorry. E.A. Hazel is in the game second right now, and then Devoto's Shadow is third. Then it is back further to Molly's on Fire, and More to Love is trailing the field. They race their way on up towards the half of a 28-2 opening quarter. The Waltzing Weasel has got a lead of 1.5 lengths, being stalked by E.A. Hazel, 7-5 on the board. Devoto's Shadow is third, and now Molly's on Fire has fired to the outside, and More to Love is trailing, and now Molly's on Fire tucked back down to the inside. 5 at a line, past the half and 59 off an opening quarter at 28-2, and the Waltzing Weasel is leading by a length and 3/4. EA Hazel is second. Devoto's Shadow is third. Molly's on Fire and Moore to Love. It is the Waltzing Weasel. EA Hazel and Stuart Sowerby is coming on the outside now. And now Molly's on Fire is on fire now. Molly's on Fire has come on to take over third, and fourth is Devoto's Shadow. EA Hazel and the Waltzing Weasel. Molly's on Fire is only a length and 3/4 off the lead. 3/4, 128 and 2. EA Hazel. Molly's on Fire. EA Hazel looks strong on top. Molly's on Fire. Still some work to do. The Waltzing Weasel. Devoto's Shadow. The field turns for home. EA Hazel and Molly's on Fire. On down the stretch route they come. EA Hazel on the inside. Molly's on Fire. EA Hazel continues on. EA Hazel. EA Hazel is going to be in the winner's circle. Molly's on Fire. Devoto's Shadow and the Waltzing Weasel. 157 and 1. EA Hazel. Well, Sugar, goodbye. Pick 5 ticket.
Yeah, pretty much, right? The early money was the smart money. We saw that a few times last week, Gary, and this filly was so good to go. You know, when Molly's on Fire made the big move up the backstretch, she appeared to be muscling right up behind the cover of EA Hazel, but when they straightened out for home, this filly was just too much pony for them in there. EA Hazel, Stuart Sowerby, they both come to play tonight. That's a nice maiden mark to grab this evening. 157 and 1, home strong, and 28 and 4, and a very nice back half for both the 1 and 2.
Yeah, I guess we should have trusted that. This is one that came a nice back half up at Georgian Downs in that last start. Didn't do much early, 31 and 3 to the quarter, and then started picking it up. And as we see here this evening, EA Hazel was strong to the finish. I mean, Molly's on Fire is coming, but EA Hazel at that point kind of is just coasting in the last few feet, and looked really solid in the lane.
That's right. Race number 1, we'll call it easy as 1, 2, 3. Austin didn't mind sending that 7, the Waltzing Weasel, out of there to be the earliest leader, and stayed on for 4th at 12 to 1. So a 1, 2, 3, and 7. But you nailed it, right? Only just one start only, but that experience was enough under her belt to turn them all the way in there. I mean, she passed a few horses through that back half in the latest, and was showing strong there, but very strong here tonight. So lots to build on with this daughter of Bettor's Delight.
Yeah, and I think you could say the Weasel was just the rabbit in this one.
Early, right? It was a nice gate leave, so there's another one that picked up some experience. Not a whole lot of 2-year-olds can get off the car like she did. So, you know what? Always nice to have that gate speed factor when on the smaller tracks of Ontario.
Yeah, and I asked you which one you'd like better, the 7 or the 6, and, well, I guess you were right.
Austin Sorry, outside post, loves to send them.
Back in front of us is the winner of race number 1. It's number 1, EA Hazel. 2-year-old Bettor's Delight Black filly, owned by Ryan Smith, trained by Stuart Sowerby. Stuart's also the winning driver. First win for EA Hazel, 157 and 1. The first race, number 1, EA Hazel, 490, 260, 210. 2 Molly's on Fire, 310, 210, and 3 Devoto's Shadow, 210. $2 exactor, $13.30. Dollar try, $7.60. Dollar super, $19.40. First race, order finish from the top. 1, 2, 3, double scratch, 5, 4. That's 1, 2, 3, double scratch, 5, 4 on the bottom.
You got it. We are back, folks, and we are set to turn the page on race number 1 and go into race number 2 for the start of an early pick 4. Here's another $2,500 pool to chase after, $2,500 guaranteed pool on this early pick 4, starting with Trotters race 2. Let's not waste any time here. Let's dive into some ticket ideas. Opening up as a heavy favorite, number 7, Serenity Cruise. Lots to build on now. Needed that last start after missing some time. Trotted a second best 157 and 2 mile with Scott Coulter on board. Coulter stays on the 7 here. My single to start up the early pick 4, likely a single for many. I'm going to go 5 deep still with the Trotters in the third and back to 4 of them. On the pacing event, race number 4, we're using Captain Sassy, All In, Mo Wicked, and Tempting. And on the end of the pick 4, we'll try 3 Stampa and 6 Drill Bit Penny. We're in for just $8 even on a 20-cent wager for the early pick 4. Gary Guy's ticket, let's bring it on up. For Gary, he's gone 2 deep the opening leg. He is using Serenity Cruise, the favorite, though his top selection. He's always going to Esquire, the 12-year-old son of Kadabra. Worth a look at a big price right now. He's 30-1 currently. Gary including that one in the opening leg of the pick 4. Gary's top selection in the third race trotting event, PL Quinella, to come right back possibly off a big upset in the latest. Gary also included the 2 and 4. He's 3 deep. In the fourth race pacing event, top selection there was number 3, All In. He's also including 7 Tempting and the 1, Captain Sassy, 2-year-old in there. Gary single on the end is the 6, Drill Bit Penny in the 5th. Gary in for just $3.60, 20-cent wager. Conley Ecclestone, his early pick 4, ticket idea. Still time here. 4 and 6, double dipping. Handsome Hank for some price players. Connolly starting up the early pick 4, at least trying to with those. Third race trotting event, he went to 4, Maestro Sealser, 7, Stone, Bridge Zeus. And then in the fourth race, that's where Connolly's gone deepest of all, 1, 3, 7, 8. He singles up number 3, Stampa. In the Prospect Series, race number 5, Connolly's in for just $3.20. On his early pick 4 wager, again, a $2,500 guaranteed pool. Still time. Next voice you hear, Gary Guy with the post parade of race 2. Good luck.
Field for race number 2 on parade 1 is Esquire. Sammy Filia for Mark Winnicott and Donald Smith and Donna Parker. Number 2 is Downstairs Party, Garrett Rooney for Cassidy Schneider and Colonel Schneider Jr. Number 3 is Catkin Morgan, Scott Young for Roy Jeffries. 4 is Double Dippin', Mario by Eroja for Sarah by Eroja. And number 5 is Century Isaiah, Ron Waples Jr. for Dr. Sheila Atmore. And number 6, Handsome Hank, Jay Harris for Caitlin Graham. Number 7, Serenity Cruise, Scott Calder for Don Lindsay and Jeff and Bernie Barr. And number 8 is Missy's Magic Man, Jason Ryan for Ron Corbett. It's a field of 8 for race number 2. Let's get a look at this field. And, well, Sugar, you are cruising with your Pick 4 ticket all alone with 7 Serenity Cruise. The fans are with you, 4 to 5 on the board.
I like him. 9-year-old son of Uncle Peter here. He for sure needed that last start after freshening up for a month or two prior to that. And again, he's looking so good here coming out of the post parade. Odds on choice, likely to be the favorite as they go postward here in race number 2. A strong second in 57-2 over Grand River Raceway in the latest. I'm hoping for lots of backclass to show up for Serenity Cruise in here. Scott Coulter stays on following that strong deuce last week.
Well, Serenity Cruise, 313,000, 9-year-old, but you're talking about backclass. Well, then I'm hoping for backclass to show up here in number 1, Esquire. 12-year-old with 474,000, Sammy Filia for Mark Winnicott. How about the equipment changes? Blinkers to blind bridle and steel to aluminum shoes up front.
Right, trainer Mark Winnicott looking to switch up the luck because things didn't go as planned up at Georgian Downs. He had a pretty good trip in there. He still trotted the mile in 58-3, but he was tailing off near the end. The start before that over Grand River Raceway is all right. Dead heat for second. Clocked the trip there in 57-3. I like the way you're going here. I know you're a big fan of this horse, so it did not surprise me when I saw that you had pegged him as the top player here. 6-time winner this season already, where he had 5 in 2024. So, Esquire, I can see him doing good things here tonight. I give him a beware, Gary.
Well, 48 lifetime wins. I'll bet you at least 30 of those wins are wins that I took him on top. So, he's a horse that's done well for me, and sometimes you go back to the well that's every time you look for water, it's right there. So Esquire's had plenty of water for me. 5-1, that's about right. And look, number 6, Handsome Hank, is one that's 6-1 on the board, and is one that's dropping.
Dropping in class. I know Conley kind of likes this fella. I got him pegged as a third choice with these. Jay Harris. I'm looking for some early speed from this one off the car. He seems to do better when racing up close, right? So Katie Graham owning and training. Still winless this season, but you know what? Tonight could be the night. 7-1 price player.
That's a decent price. And number 2, Downstairs Party. Well, post position 7 last time out, it just didn't work out well for Downstairs Party, but gets to drop down a class and get a little bit better post spot. Was racing reasonably well before that last race.
Yeah, plus he gets a good set of trotting hands on him too. Garrett, Rooney, G-Money. This horse is looking kind of sharp. Gary, kind of flying under the radar too, right? He's a 15-1, third longest shot on the board. All this horse has to do is mind his manners, though he has been a pretty honest trotter over the last few months. When he was in London, he'd throw in the odd break and just kind of unreliable type on the half mile in London this meet, but looking to turn things around. A big price for G-Money here at 19-1 with Downstairs Party.
And a quick thought on Double Dippin', because it's 2-1 on the board, sent up by Sarah by Argent.
Late action coming for Double Dippin'. Another horse that Connolly kind of likes in here, and maybe another beware type with your 1 Esquire.
Well, it is a field of 8. Esquire, Downstairs Party, Catkin Morgan on the inside, Double Dippin', Century Isaiah at the center, and Handsome Hank, Serenity Cruise, Missy's Magic Man on the outside. Field of 8, the second dash. And the field for the second race. is at the start of the rough, and Serenity Cruise is going to cruise out strongly early. Then double dipping. Esquire on the inside. Handsome Hank is third now as Esquire is fourth away. Then it is Catkin Morgan, Downstairs Party, Century Isaiah, and Missy's Magic Man. Serenity Cruise dropped at 2 to 5 of the board and cruises up to the opening quarter, but double dipping, getting the pocket. Handsome Hank is third. Esquire's racing fourth, and Catkin Morgan, Downstairs Party, Century Isaiah, Missy's Magic Man, Serenity Cruise, and Scotty Coulter off the opening quarter, heading up towards us. And Serenity Cruise, the timer malfunctioned, and racing second, double dipping. Handsome Hank is third. Esquire still on the inside, racing position fourth. Then it is Catkin Morgan as the field works on around the turn. Then Downstairs Party, Century Isaiah, and Missy's Magic Man. They race their way into the backstretch. Past the half they go. Serenity Cruise, double dipping. Handsome Hank, Esquire still on the inside, as no one's popped out just yet, as Serenity Cruise is doing all the heavy lifting on top and leads it a length and a half over double dipping. Handsome Hank now popping to the outside goes Catkin Morgan, leaving Esquire on the inside, and now Downstairs Party's moving, and then it is back to Century Isaiah and Missy's Magic Man. Serenity Cruise is cruised out to a lead of about 2 1/4. Double dipping, Catkin Morgan, Handsome Hank, and Downstairs Party and Esquire, and Century Isaiah, and Missy's Magic Man. And the field is about to turn for home, and it's all Serenity Cruise. Double Dippin' is second. Serenity Cruise and Double Dippin'. Serenity Cruise and Scotty Coulter leading still by a couple of lengths. Double Dippin's getting a little bit closer, but Serenity Cruise is cruising at the finish. Double Dippin' second. Handsome Hank was third, and finishing fourth, Catkin Morgan. Well, we don't know the mile time, but one thing we know for certain, Serenity Cruise was too good for the field here in the second race, Sugar.
Yeah, he was so good to go. I loved seeing him leave first off the car and take control because he never took an eyeball the whole way. Went along unchallenged. And Scott Coulter, I don't believe ever was. There was never any urgency really. He never lifted a line on this old campaigner, 9-year-old son of Uncle Peter, and back class, right? Certainly showing up tonight for his first victory of 2025. Again, did it quite comfortably.
Yeah, that back close showed up, and the one that I took, well, maybe try different equipment because that wasn't the combination.
Yeah, just going to keep on fiddling with the old Esquire for next time, likely. But you know what? He's already had a big campaign. He's got 6 wins this season, Gary.
Oh, no, he's been good. It's just, they tried something, and it didn't seem to be the answer, but I still love me some Esquire because, as I said, been on the right side of it with him more often than wrong. But the thing with this race, Serenity Cruise took all that money, and then he just raced 2 to 5 is the correct price on me. But we did mention Double Dippin' took a lot of money, and that is your exactor ticket. And Double Dippin' was able to get the pocket, and then actually at least came on a little bit even at the end there to make it look better. But was a strong second.
Was a very strong second, and that was after missing a couple of months. So for sure, one to circle up for next time, and another one maybe to look for next time will be number 3, Catkin Morgan. Big burst, uncovered up the backside for Scott Young, and I like the way that one finished up to be fourth in there. So look for Catkin Morgan next time as a long shot. Look for Double Dippin' next time as a likely favorite.
Yeah, and that Double Dippin's a $300,000 yearling purchase of Walner, so you know that he's supposed to be decent and races for Sarah Bayarjean, who often puts up some strong numbers. But the numbers in this race, number 7, Serenity Cruise, 9-year-old Uncle Peter Bay-Gelding, Jeff and Bernie Barr for Don Lindsay, the winning drive to the 10 Tornado, Scotty Coulter. It's the first win this year, 21st lifetime. Serenity Cruise victorious in the second. The second race, number 7, Serenity Cruise, 280, 210, 210. 4, Double Dippin', 370, 260. 6, Handsome Hank, 410. $2 exactor, 1040. Dollar try, 2230. Dollar super, 70.85. Double of 1 and 7, 780. The second race order finished from the top, 654 283 17. That's 654 283 17 on the bottom. There's a look at your paddock shot. The paddock camera presented by the Ontario Equine Education and Employment Program. Field on post parade for the third one. Lily's Last, Jeffrey Hunt for Patrick Hunt and Goldfinger Stables. Number 2, My Holy Moly, Scott Young for Connie Chisholm and David Chisholm. Number 3 is Prince Archie, Garrett Rooney for Ashley Lanvoy and Gino Toscani. And number 4, Maestro Sealster, Sammy Filia for Julie Walker. 5 is P.L. Canelo, Paul McKenzie for Matt Dupuis. Number 6, I'm Above Average, Daryl Thiessen for Derek Anderson and Gordon Mason and Scott Mason. And number 7 is Stonebridge Zeus, Austin Sorry for Brian Lawrence and Smirk Incorporated. Field of 7, race number 3. Let's get a look at this field. And, well, Sugar, we both have P.L. Canella, but we're the only 2 cappers that like P.L. Canella on top. In fact, Conley, not in the top 4, and the morning line left this one out of the top 4 as well. So, I don't know. I guess we're either really smart or really dumb. You tell me.
Oh, well, I think we got to go back to him, right? I mean, he was very, very sharp in that latest victory. I mean, they couldn't get close to him throughout the mile, and you're getting a pretty good price on him. 6-1 this time. He was a 14-1 up in the latest. This is a tougher spot for him, though, Gary. I was elected to go deep, very deep, in this leg for the multi-leg wager, so it's not a cinch that he could come back with the same kind of performance that he threw at us last time, but he's definitely worth a look.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, when I asked you that question, I can just picture a bunch of people were yelling at their TV, really dumb. Look at, I think P.L. Canella is a smart play in here. Number 1, Lily's Last is your second choice, and that's a smart play too, because the trailer post last time and managed to pick up a second. Look at the price, 48-1, now 14-1.
I actually really like this mare tonight, Gary. I mean, she closed up big time to P.L. Quinella in the latest. Home in 29 flat for a trip in 158. That big price, like 48-1 last time out. But she's more than capable with these, should she happen to bring her A game. Mentioned earlier on the show that the trailing spot, a very tough spot to win from in any half mile or 5/8 track in Ontario. Lily's Last, just a one-time winner over the season, unraced through the 2024 season, but this could be the spot. I like her chances. Love that price, 11-1.
You know who wasn't going well this year, and then now things seem to have turned around? Maestro Sealster. Good last couple.
Yeah, definitely something to build on with that last race where he was third from well back. He's home in 29-1 and 5-1 right now. I'm calling this one wide open. I mean, if you're playing the pick 3, the all button's not a bad idea in leg 1.
Well, and then you used number 2, My Holy Moly, and this is one that was good up at Georgian Downs 2 starts ago. Winner at Kawartha just before that. Last race at Georgian had to come late to get a 4th.
Scott Young on board, and Scott, when he comes into Grand River Raceway, he usually does some pretty good things, and this one could be the one to beat in here. Horse players think so, but I didn't really I call it wide open, so I'm thinking there shouldn't be any clear-cut favorite, shouldn't be any clear-cut long shot. They all should be 5, 6 to 1 in here. It's that close.
I know you threw the 7 onto your ticket, taking a bunch of horses, but I want to talk about number 3, Prince Archie, because it was Ken Middleton's top pick in here. Kenny's pretty shrewd, and he went 3-7 as his top 2, and whereas we've kind of left Prince Archie out. Break last time out, though.
Ooh, big catch driving assignment for Garrett Rooney on a trotter. Prince Archie, this is a much easier spot for him versus what he was racing late last season. Now he's got 3 starts under his belt in 2025, and that's something to think about going into this one. His price is right,
Yeah,
5 to 1, and if he could ever find a spot up close in here, it could be very tough to deal with.
Well, an 11-time winner last year and won here in 55
Right?
and 2. And a quick thought on Stonebridge Zeus. You included this one.
Oh yeah. Well, Austin Sorry on board. I don't think he's got that early speed factor, but he closed up well last time out to trot a mile and 56 and 3 over the river. Austin Sorry, always a danger on a trotter or a pacer here.
It's a field of 7. Lily's Last, My Holy Moly on the inside. Prince Archie, Maestro Sealster, PL Canal to the outside. I'm Above Average, and Stonebridge Zeus, field of 7, race number 3. Field for the 3rd. In the backstretch, approaching the start. And the field for the 3rd is at the start and they're off, and PL Canella is going to emerge rapidly and grab the lead. My Holy Moly, Lily's Last, Prince Archie, I'm Above Average, Maestro Sealster, Stonebridge Zeus, but PL Canella sent right to the front. 5 to 2 on the board, has a lead of a couple of lengths right now 2.5 over My Holy Moly. Lily's Last 3rd, Prince Archie is racing 4th. Then it is I'm Above Average and Maestro Sealster, and Stonebridge Zeus is trailing 27 and 2 opening quarter. PL Canella has the front as they come on towards us. My Holy Moly and Lily's Last, those are your top 3. And racing 4th is Prince Archie, about 7 or 8 off the lead. In front of I'm Above Average, Maestro Sealster now has been conducted to the outside and is following move to the outside by I'm Above Average, and Stonebridge Zeus is trailing. 27 and 2/4, they head up towards the half. PL Canella leads it by a length and 3/4 over My Holy Moly. Lily's Last, I'm Above Average on the outside now, has moved up and taken over 3rd. And Maestro Sealster on the outside is on the back of I'm Above Average, who's coming on into contention. Lily's Last is 5th, Prince Archie is 6th, and 7th is Stonebridge Zeus, but PL Canella is pouring it on right now. Has a lead of about 2.5 lengths over My Holy Moly, and they head by 3/4 off a half of 57, and PL Canella has been on fire since the get-go. 125 and 4 the 3/4. PL Canella, My Holy Moly, I'm Above Average and Maestro Sealster, Stonebridge Zeus and Lily's Last and Prince Archie, and the field turns for home. PL Canella, it's been a one-horse show so far on down the stretch drive for PL Canella, is still leading comfortably over My Holy Moly. PL Canella got a little weary at the end, but it didn't matter, still won by about 2. My Holy Moly, Maestro Sealster, and I'm Above Average, 156 and 3. Well, Sugar asked you if we're smart or crazy. Turns out, smart.
Smart enough, right? Well, P.L. Canella, he had got that heart-building win last time out when he was left alone, never faced a challenger, and he did the same thing tonight. I mean, an ultra-impressive early quarter of 27 and 2, where he was able to put a few lengths on the field. And again, he with the lead, they just couldn't get close. He kind of bottoms them out. That's been his game plan last time and tonight. Wonderful to see. I love when a horse gets that confidence, and that's what he's got right now. PL Canella, now an 8-time winner, 2 in a row over the river, both with Paul McKenzie on board for Matt Dupuis.
Yeah, and moved up from the last time out and just kept on going. Now, look, tired a little bit at the end, but he did all the work and a good mile of 56 and 3. That's That's a strong effort for PL Canella, so that's one to watch for. And,
Yeah.
My Holy Moly got away well, sat the pocket, but wasn't going to catch PL Canella.
He had every chance if he was good enough tonight. I mean, the plugs come out for that one just prior to the final turn, but he wasn't really making up any ground, making up any headway. Uh, the winner was clear, turning for home. Now, PL Cunella, you mentioned, began to let up a little. Well, he got the drifts a little. He bared out wide. If there would have been a sharp horse on the Mackenzie helmet turning for home, there was room at the inn, and but you know what? Number two, my holy moly, just couldn't keep that hole filled and couldn't make it up. PL Quinella, just the confidence level riding high right now.
Yeah, if you're in front by 2.5 or 3, you can bear out as wide as you want.
Yes.
It's a 5-2-4-6 top four coming back in front of us. Number 5, PL Canella, 5-year-old kid Dabra Bay Gelding, owned and trained by Matt Dupuis. The winning drive to Paul Mackenzie. It's the second win this year, 8th lifetime for PL Canella, 156-3. A new season's best. Third race, number 5, PL Canella, 730, 360, 280. To My Holy Moly, 360, 270. For Maestro Sealster, 320. $2 exact or $18. Dollar try, $26. Dollar super 157.15. 20-cent super 31.43. third race. Order finished from the tops of 5263147. That's 5263147 on the bottom. Field 4, Race 4 on parade. 1, Captain Sassy. Jason Ryan for Greg McNair and Frank Brundle. Number 2 is Plastic Fantastic Austin Soray for Robert Kyle Fellows in Hut Racing. And number 3 is All In, Garrett Rooney for Diana McIntosh. Number 4 is Better Bell, semi-filia for John Chikeen and Robert Pooley. And
hold on, he's just coming out, but it's 6 next.
number 6 is coming out.
6 is up.
Mo Wicked, Paul McKenzie for Terry Gallant. Number 7, Tempting, Jay Harris for Sean Stacy and Nickway Farms. Eight is Ashley's Sweetie, Daryl Thiessen for Ashley Lenvoy and Gino Toscani. 9 is Greystone Playgirl, Steve Hudon for Laura Toscani and Carmelo Shime and John Henderson. Steve shares in ownership. Note that number 5 is Fastlane, Jane Scott Gold for Gord Danzatovic and Peter Albrecht. Field of 9, race number 4. Let's get a look at this field, and we'll start with number 7, Tempting. I was tempted to use this one on top. I ended up using her for second, but she's been good of late.
She has been. She turned things around when coming to Grand River Raceway mid-June. Sparkling winning effort there in 55 and 3. The light best for this one-time winner. She come back with a strong enough third in the latest, and I've got all kinds of time for this one in here. Like her chances, and so far love the price of 5-1. Jay Harris might have some speed to work with this time versus leaving post 2. Last week, he's got a really good hold of this Tempting, and from post 7, I think we'll see a gate blast.
And look, 55 and 3 is a good mile in comparison with this field. Number 3, All In, that's where the fans are all in, and a couple of dominant efforts at Dresden. 58 at Dresden last time out. Dresden's not that quick a track.
Not that quick. I mean, she's 2-3. The start before that with a very big back half of 58. So then she comes back and shaves 5 seconds off that 2:03 mile to go in 58. Can she find 3 more seconds to go with these or to even beat these? The horse players think so. 7-5. I want her to see her once over the Rivers 5/8 track. 3-2 right now. I'm kind of thinking she's overbet, though. She is riding on some confidence with 2 straight victories.
I got to believe that 58 at Dresden and 55 and 3 are pretty comparable miles. I think we're a good couple seconds faster than Dresden or more. So I don't know. I put them pretty close in terms of overall speed, but I don't like the 8-5 on the board. Number 1, Captain Sassy. Well, Greg McNair, first-time starter. Good final quarter in that last qualifier.
I can use her in here, but we've said it before. It's tough for the 2-year-olds to go up against the 3 and 4-year-old pacers, and Captain Sassy making her career debut from the rail. I'm not going to call it a rail advantage in here because I don't think she's going to be sitting up close in here. I think she'd be sitting maybe 4 or 5 in the early going, though she does show some pretty good speed on her final quarter in the latest qualifier. She's had 2 qualifiers over both Woodbine Mohawk Park and Grand River Raceway. So, yeah, I can use her for a top 3 finish in here, but the win, that could be tough at 9-2.
Yeah, and look, I don't even think there is a rail advantage. We've seen enough races here with the inside. Yeah, Captain Sassy, 9-2. Little light in terms of the odds. I'd like a little bit more. Number 6, Mo Wicked. I left this one. I went only 3 deep in that pick 4. Mo Wicked, the 4th choice, but is one that was good at Hanover. And then to put up a mile of 54 and 4 at Mohawk, June the 19th. But the race went much quicker.
Right on. Did too. Big price on the morning line right now. 6-1 value. Was pacing in 54 and 4, 2 back over the price. Big price last time out in the Prospect Series at Grand River. Was a well beaten sixth in there, though did clock a mile in 56. She's going to have to find, I think, a 54 or a 55 mile to beat these. But wouldn't surprise me. Terry Gallant, been known to hit the winner's circle with a price player now and then. Paul McKenzie trying to come right back in here.
Well, there's your down home connections, Paul McKenzie and Terry
Yeah.
Gallant from your home country. Mo Wickett, look, that back half at Mohawk, that's a pretty good, solid back half, and came home in 28 and 4, 27 and
Indeed.
4. So Mo Wickett, there is some speed there, and is 10-1 morning line is getting a little more action, 6-1. But we differ. You've gone to 7 tempting, who now has dropped where I thought it would be, more like 2-1 and 3-1 with all in. So we'll see how it
They're coming for her,
fares.
Gary.
Yeah. Well, Tempting's already done it here in 55 and 3. It's a field of 9. Captain Sassy, Plastic Fantastic, and All In. In the center, Better Bell, Fast Lane Jane. And to the outside, Mo Wicked, Tempting, Ashley Sweetie, second tier, Greystone Playgirl. It's a field of 9 for race number 4. And the field for the 4th race. Is at the start and they're off, and Better Bell is leaving with Fast Lane Jane. Those the top 2 right now, with Better Bell with the inside advantage over Fast Lane Jane. Tempting is into the top 3, then Captain Sassy, Plastic Fantastic, and All In is 6th away. Then Greystone Playgirl, Mo Wickett, Ashley Sweetie, Better Bell at 8-1 has the lead, but driving Tempting on the outside, and Tempting and Jay Harris now is set up to grab the front. Better Bell's racing position to second, and Better Bell is for now filling the pocket, about a length and a half back of Tempting, now 2 lengths back of Tempting, and racing third, Fast Lane Jane. Then Captain Sassy, Plastic Fantastic. All In now is All Out, is stepped to the outside. Then it is Greystone Playgirl, Ashley Sweetie, and Mo Wickett on the pylons. Off at 27 and 3 opening quarter, the field heads up towards the half, and Tempting's got the lead. Better Bell second, but All In is making a spirited move on the outside for G Money, and is coming on gamely as Garrett Rooney and All In now is All In challenging Tempting. It is Tempting and All In, and on the inside third, Better Bell, Plastic Fantastic, and Fast Lane Jane sharing fourth. They head to 3/4, and on the outside, All In has a small lead, but Tempting tries to fight back, and they race by 3/4. All In and Tempting are going at it. All In leads it by a nose, but Tempting on the inside is game and fighting. 3/4, 125 and 4. Better Bell is third. Those 3 have some separation, and Greystone Playgirl is fourth, and then Fast Lane Jane and Captain Sassy, and then Mo Wickett and Plastic Fantastic. But All In now has come on to take a lead of about a length on the inside. Tempting is trying to come back against All In. All In on down the stretch. Rob Tempting is game. All In and Tempting, they're going to keep on fighting. Tempting on the inside came right back on and turned back All In. Better Bell, Greystone Playgirl, 155 and 3. What an effort by Tempting at the top of the stretch. I loved my chances, Sugar, and, didn't turn out.
I love my chances, Gary, especially when I saw the gate blast. That's what I wanted. Jay Harris drove her just the way I wanted to see it. I mean, nice move to the top. Take nothing away from the trip All In went. She paced the big back half. She was out a long ways, and we'll be looking for her next time should she show up at the river. But for me, Tempting, big mile, all heart, and a 7-2 price.
Yeah, very good price. Came back up. And listen, I mean, Tempting, full marks for turning back All In, because All In probably was in front about a length as they had turned for home. Yep. And normally a horse, after one gets by a length, won't come back.
Wonderful to see. You know, she's lightly raced, daughter of Always Be Mickey. She's got that big stride on her right. She learned plenty here tonight. She learned that she can come back. You know, she was beaten around that final turn. or it appeared to be so. But for her to dig down deep and come on back and win by a full length, huge confidence builder.
Yeah, she didn't just come back and win by a nose. She won by a full length
Right.
and was strong halfway down the lane. You knew that, oh, actually, Tempting's going to come back and win this. And the money came for all in at the end. The people were all in, and I was with them. And, well, you know, I asked earlier about crazy or smart. Well, in this one, I was crazy because you were smart with Tempting, and you were smart with a smart price at 7-2, so it went your way.
And
Yeah, Jay Harris did the job.
I should add, this exacta Gary coming back huge. $39 for those two.
$39. All we had to decide is, did we like it 3-7 or 7-3? I'm shocked at that price,
Oof.
but it is number 7 Tempting. Well, you had the exactor of 7-3, so go get your $39. It says 7 Tempting, 3-year-old always be Mickey Bay filly. Nickway Farms is the owner. Sean Stacy the trainer. Jay Harris, the winning driver, the Green Arrow victorious in the fourth, and second win for Tempting this year in lifetime. Mile of 155 and 3 equals her career mark. The fourth race payout, 7 Tempting, $955, 320, 3 all in, 272.40, 4 Better Bell, $4, $2 exactor, $39.20, dollar try, $60.90, dollar super, $1,071.90, 20-cent super, $214.38. the fourth race. Order of finish from the top, 592-386-174. That's 592-386-174 on the bottom.
Hey kids, do you like to write stories or poems or draw pictures of horses? We're running 2 contests from now until August 31st with a total prize money of $3,500. For the Youth Literary Derby, Ontario students in grades 3 to 8 can submit either a short story or a poem with standardbred theme. Poems and stories are judged separately. If you like to draw, then the Youth Art Derby might be for you. This one is open to students in grades 3 to 12, and you can do a drawing or a sketch of anything standardbred related. Check out our website for more inspiration and more information, bgracingalliance.ca.
I'm Natasha Day. I train and drive harness racing horses at London, Ontario. These are my main products that I use in my racehorse barn that are all Omega Alpha, the Biotic 8, the Immune Plus, the Anti-Flam, which is great for the horses after they've had a hard day racing. The Biotic 8, I swear by it. Get all the dapples out, gets the old coat out, gets everything pumping and moving and makes the shine really come out.
Field for the fifth race. On parade 1, Takes No Bull, Scott Young for Loopland Determination. Number 2, Amazing Lady, Jason Ryan for John Pentland in Hunt Racing. Number 3, Stampa, Damian McClellan for Mike Timpano and Wendy Warren Timpano and Frank Tucci in Seaspray Stables. 4 is Rising Shadow, Jay Harris for Jacques DuPont. 5 is Tanya Hanover, Paul McKenzie for Peter Brickman and Aaron Swainson Brickman. Number 6 is Drill Bit Penny, Sammy Filia for Gerard Demers, Marc Lemay and Sylvain Caron and J.R. Mervois. Number 7, Bull by the Horns, Austin Surrey for Anthony Beaton and Bradley Grant. 8 is Scratched and 9 is Smoked 'em Again, Anthony Hunt for Scott McEnany at Hunt Racing. Field of 8, race number 5. Let's get a look at this field. And, well, Sugar, we are drilling down on the 6 Drill Bit Penny because both of us are live with this one in the pick 4, although you've gone too deep and I went just alone. Drill Bit Penny and Sammy Filia for Gerard Demers.
I like the lines in this filly, qualifying at Woodbine Mohawk Park, showing back quarter speed 27 both times. I like her look right now, her body language. Yeah, I like her. Love the price, 6-1. I think if I was trying the high five here with the carryover in play, almost $3,000 carryover money. It's a must play if you're playing harness in North America tonight. I'd be keying this one on top. I know I've got like a 6-3-1-4-2, my top 5, but I'd be including 9 as well underneath. I'd be keying the 6 on top of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 9 if I was taking a shot on this high 5 carryover, Gary.
Yeah, we do have that carryover to get a look at. And, well, number 3, Stampa, is one that clearly I think is the next one that you would look at. And a pretty good start at Georgian. Has already got that one race under the belt, whereas there's a few first-time starters in here, as is Drill Bit Penny.
Right on. It's the Prospect Series continuing, and we've seen kind of the same deal with the rail horse in race number 1, who had one start under her belt, and she learned lots in that career debut because she came back and she win quite handily this evening for Stuart Sowerby in the opener. So number 3, Stampa by Cattle Wash. And Cattle Wash is one serious sire, Gary. I watched Bojangles in a career debut winning 150-1 Saturday night at Woodbine Mohawk Park. A Cattle Wash daughter, Stampa, with Damian McClellan on board post 3.
Wow, I'm going to have to keep that in mind. Listen, number 1, Takes No Bull. One thing is you always have to look at horses sent up by Luc Blais because they're always really well-meant horses.
100%. Daughter of Bulldog Hanover, out of one of my favorite mares ever, raced at London, Pinky Tuscadero by Artistic Fella. So bred by Mark Horner of St. Mary's. For Determination of Quebec, as you mentioned, Luc Blais always seems to have some talent for the young stakes horses. Scott Young on board. Do like the fact she came home in 27 flat over Woodbine Mohawk Park in the qualifying debut. Again, she's out of one of my favorite mares, Pinky Tuscadero. This is Takes No Bull. Daughter of Bulldog Henry here takes the action for the answer at 6-5.
Another first-time starter, number 4, Rising Shadow. There's a couple of qualifiers, and last one was decent.
Right on, 28-1 on the end of it to be third and 58-2. Jay Harris, we saw win with Tempting in race number 4. So not just for horses, but for drivers even. Having some confidence, Gary, means a lot. So Jay Harris, after winning the 4th, wouldn't surprise me to see him in the mix here in race 5.
And then number 2, Amazing Lady, had a pretty good back half in that last qualifier.
Indeed. Showed some speed before that to be on top at the quarter mile, a soft quarter 31, and was staying on for second. The career debut over the big track at Woodbine Mohawk Park. Nothing wrong with it. Home at 27-3, tripping 58-1. Just finds an easier spot tonight. Jason Ryan on board for John Pentland, another trainer that gets along with his young stake horses.
And you mentioned 9 Smoked 'em again. One that qualified here, a decent qualifier, and then that last race. Look at the opening quarter, 32-1, and then all of the next 3 quarters are good after just not really doing much early.
Right on. This filly is kind of sneaky good right now on the board. 13-1, flying under the radar. She's leaving behind one of the favorites. Again, the back tier spot is post 9, but I would be including this filly in the high 5 play. It's the carryover. There's still time.
Now, the one that we like the best, Drill Bit Penny, I should drill down a little bit. One of the things I often look for in these first-time starters, that final quarter. A 27-second final quarter. That is the quickest final quarter of this group, along with Takes No Bull. But Drill Bit Penny, I just think overall, I like her just a little bit better than the rest, and now has come down to 9-5. So the money is really on those two with the best final quarters, the 6 and the 1.
And the fact that she showed gate speed in there too, Gary. She's at the quarter in 30-2 that is, and leading. And then she's home quickly, 27 flat on the end. Let's see Drill Bit Penny in play early for Sammy.
Well, it Takes No Bull and Amazing Addie. Then Stompa, Rising Shadow, Tanya Hanover in the center. The outside, Drill Bit Penny, and Bull by the Horns, and second tier, Smoked 'em again. It's a field of 8. Race number 5, the Prospect Series. 2-year-old pacing fillies in the backstretch. And they're at the start of the rough, and right now leaving out is Rising Shadow and Stompa, Amazing Addie. Drill Bit Penny is 4th away. Then it is Tanya Hanover, Takes No Bull, and back to Bull by the Horns and Smoked 'em again. But right now Rising Shadow, Drill Bit Penny made just a tiny bobble at the start, but now is trying to come on. And Drill Bit Penny is coming on against Rising Shadow, and Drill Bit Penny is going to drill up on the outside now and clear to the front. Rising Shadow is racing position 2nd. Stompa is 3rd. Opening quarter was 28-3, and then racing 4th is Amazing Addie. Then Tanya Hanover and Takes No Bull. Back to Smoked 'em again and Bull by the Horns. A field of 8 heading up towards the half of a 28-3 opening quarter. And Drill Bit Penny 8-5 on the board, leading Rising Shadow is Stompa, racing position to 3rd, and then 4th in line as they work their way into the backstretch is Amazing Addie, 57-4 halftime. 5th is Tanya Hanover. Now Takes No Bull has been taken to the outside. Then Smoked 'em again and Bull by the Horns, but Drill Bit Penny right now leads and is commanding by about 2. Stompa is 2nd, Rising Shadow 3rd, and then 4th is Amazing Addie. Then it is Takes No Bull and Tanya Hanover. Smoked 'em again and Bull by the Horns, but Drill Bit Penny and Sammy Filia still just sitting still, just a passenger in the bike right now. 3/4, 127. And the field turns for home. Drill Bit Penny, Stompa, Rising Shadow, and Amazing Addie and Takes No Bull and Smoked 'em again. On down the stretch drive they come. Drill Bit Penny and Sammy Filia just sitting comfortable in the bike, cruising at the finish, and wins it by about 5. Then Amazing Addie with Stompa and Smoked 'em again and Takes No Bull. And, mile of 157, Drill Bit Penny was clearly the best in their sugar.
Much the best. And I know you mentioned you might have made a bobble at the start. I'm not sure if it was a bobble or Sammy just hesitating briefly, because there was a host of levers to her left. I thought Sammy was maybe going to grab up and take her back, but she was kind of bully on the bit and wanted to show that early speed. So Sammy just let her roll into the opening turn, and when she grabbed control, it was over for the rest of them.
Yeah, it was hard to tell because you're looking at the lower pan camera from the side and covered up by other horses, but you see kind of moving forward and then not moving forward. So I suspect it may be a bobble, but you might be closer to the truth that, right to Drill Bit Penny's inside or a couple that's leaving. So Sammy has to think, okay, what am I going to do now?
Yeah, well, you know what? When taking control, I mean, she was able to kind of steal away a nice second quarter breather. Into the third quarter, she's 29-1 and really winning under no asking, no urging. Home and 30 flat for a maiden mark of 157 flat. Hey, I think we should give a shout out to our high five carryover players, Gary. They bet 30,000 plus new money into that high five carryover.
Yes, and look, the six you drove at Penny was clearly the best in there and was bet down to 8-5, but still, there's carryover money and there's some
Yeah.
horses in there that also had a little bit in the way of odds. I mean, overall, I thought the race was reasonably formful, and of course, drove at Penny lived up to the form.
Hey, you know that nine smoked him again. He snuck in to find a piece of that high five at 16-1 for Anthony Hahn. So that one was finishing fourth, I think. So that sweetens up the ticket. And even the win price on this filly, that's all right. 8-5 for Drill Big Penny. I did not expect that.
Well, the one you added late was smoked them again. You kind of liked that one a little bit more and threw in the 16-1. The others were all pretty gettable and ones that
Sure.
you were looking at. But adding in the nine is what helps that ticket. But of course, you need to have Drillbit Penny on top, and we had this one on top, and Drillbit Penny lived up to that big billing 2-year-old Stag Party Bay filly, owned by Marc LeMay and Sylvain Caroma and J.R. Marois. Gerard Demers owning along with training. Sammy Filia, the winning driver. Drillbit Penny. Debut mile, 157 flat. And out trackside for the winners of photo. And happy birthday to Jamie. Jamie having a birthday. And happy birthday to Jamie. Jamie's out trackside with her daughter here this evening at Grand River Raceway. Happy birthday, Jamie. Fifth race payout six Drillbit Penny, $533.73 to Amazing Addy, $453.90, and three Stomp at $270, $2 exactor $31.40, dollar try $40.40, dollar high five $576.25, 20-cent high five $115.25. The dollar pick three $85.30, dollar pick four $107.25, and the dollar pick five $385.80. of the fifth race. Over a finish from the tops of 5, 2, 3, 6, 8, 1, 7, scratch 4. That's 5, 2, 3, 6, 8, 1, 7, scratch 4.
Sounds good. Four minutes away from race number 6 of 10 tonight at the River. We've got the Prospect Series continuing for the 2-year-olds. This time it's the boys on the pace. And opening up as an early favorite, number 1, Studio Boss. It's trained by Luke Blaze with Scott Young on board. And kind of left that one off the opening leg of the Pick 5 play. The Pick 5 ticket that I've selected. We'll bring it up on the monitors here now. I'm using 2 and 3. Right now they are price players. I'm using 2 and 3 to start up. The Pick 5, covering the final 5 races this evening at Grand River Raceway. We're using 2, Dominate. A first-time starter here for trainer Nick Galucci. It's owned and bred by Millar Farms with Jason Ryan on board. I kind of like her chances. Home at 28-2 in the qualifier for a trip in 58-4 over the big track of Woodbine Mohawk Park. Number 3, What's in the Shadows, has had 3 qualifiers under his belt already. A colt son of Shadow Play, racing for Dr. Ian Moore. He's sharing ownership with the RG McGroup Limited out of New Brunswick, along with the former NHL player Serge Savard out of Quebec. Paul McKenzie on board. We'll try for a second driving win on the night. 2 and 3 for me, starting up this Pick 5 play. Then I'm electing to go deep. Races 7, 8, and 9. I'm going 4 deep because you know what? There wasn't really anything popping off the page in those middle legs. Races 7, 8, and 9. Again, going 4 deep, and that forcing me to go with a single on the end of it. I'm going to go after number 1, Coalition Hanover, on the rail in the finale. Sammy Fillion on board off a strong 4th. Last time out with Paul McKenzie on board, with Sammy going back on board. Coalition Hanover on the rail for trainer Pam Forgy in the finale. If we make it a race 10, we need that single, the 1 horse, to show up in the finale. 25.60. I'm in to go for 20 cents on the Pick 5 wager. Gary Guy's got a ticket idea as well. We'll roll through Gary's ticket. For Gary Guy, opening leg of this late Pick 5. He's 3 deep in there, and he's got the 3. What's in the Shadows on top, Paul McKenzie. He's also using the 2, Dominate, and including number 4, Lions Wyatt Earp. For Gary in the 7th, he's on the 3, 5, and 4. And again, number 3, Paybug, being his top selection. 3 deep for Gary, race 8 with 2, 7, and 5. He's liking McKenzie tonight. Another top selection for Paul McKenzie with 2, Shadow Cove in race 8. He went outside to the 7, Starbright Dancer, and including the 5, Trust Me Hanover as well. Gary's single on the sequence. It's the trotter R Royal Port in race number 9. And on the end of it, the Pick 5 ends in race 10. He's using 2, Magical Arthur, who got roughed up last time from an outside post. Gets an inside post to work with, of course, tonight. Also including 5, Smokestack off the qualifier. 2 and 5 for Gary on the end. 10.80 on the 20-cent wager. One more ticket quickly. Conley Ecclestone chimes in. Going to go 4 deep to start things up. He's 2 deep in race number 7. He singles number 6, Rowdy Patrick for Garrett Rooney in race 8. He's back to 3 deep in the 9th. He went inside in the 10th. I like his ending. 1 Coalition Hanover or 2 Magical Arthur. Conley's in for 9.60 at his 20-cent play. It's the late pick 5 starting up. Gary Guy's got your post parade for race 6 next.
Field for the 6th on parade. 1 Studio Boss, Scott Young for Luke Bland, Determination Stable. Number 2 is Dominate, Jason Ryan for Nick Galucci and Miller Farms. Number 3, What's in the Shadows, Paul McKenzie for Dr. Ian Moore and RG McGroup Limited and Serge Savard. Number 4 is Lions Wyatt Earp, Austin Surrey for Anthony Beaton and 3 Lions Racing. 5 is Scratch 6 Mountain Dancer, Daryl Thiessen for Rod Boyd. And number 7 is Speak to the Baron, Lauren House for John Pentland and Dan and Kim Sargent, field of 6. Let's get a look at this field. And, well, number 2, Dominate. The fans think this one might be able to dominate because 7-5 on the board. Jason Ryan for the barn of Nick Galucci. Nick's got some big numbers again this year, but that's not shocking.
I like the look of this 2-year-old. Look at him grabbing on pretty good here. Son of Sunshine Beach and driver Jason Ryan. He's got a handful right here. I mean, this young gelding, very sharp for his career debut. Nick Galucci training for the owners, breeders, Millar Farms, the same connections that have brought you Chantilly, the top 3-year-old filly with 12 undefeated starts under her belt, and we'd hope to see her back at some point this season. Though this too, Dominate, I think he's ready to dominate right off the bat. Again, Jason Ryan's got a handful here, Gary. 6-5 favorite.
And in the qualifier, every quarter was a little quicker and ended up 28-2 on the back end. What's in the Shadows is my top one, and I'm feeling less confident now that I just saw that to Dominate. But What's in the Shadows, Paul McKenzie, Dr. Ian Moore. Well, I'm loyal to the Charlottetown, or even if you're not.
Well, you know what? This one's got a look of shadow play. He's a 2-year-old colt son of shadow play out of a Roll with Joe Mare, bred by Winback Farm. Dr. Ian Moore owning, training Paul McKenzie. So a pair of Islanders teaming up here with a great-looking colt. And it's got a pretty good foundation under him as well, with 3 qualifiers coming in. 7-1 price player, surprisingly.
He's got some bulk to him for a 2-year-old. He's already, he looks pretty muscled up. Not the longest barrel from what I see, but he looks pretty chunky.
He's kind of thick, right? He's got a nice neck on him. Again, I like the foundation. 3 times behind the gate in qualifiers, and Paul McKenzie faring well so far tonight. He's been to the winner's circle once. Maybe he gets it twice right here.
Number 7, Speak to the Baron. I didn't use this one, but that last race at Clinton, I should have looked a little closer. Came home pretty well. Only a mile at 2:01, but Clinton and Lauren House, John Pentland, solid connections.
That's a big mile over Clinton for a 2-year-old. This colt's son of Art Speak. Home in 29-1 there when he was allowed to race up close. I'm not sure what Lauren's going to opt for. He's likely going to wait to see what happens as the gate leaves. If he looks to his left and doesn't see a whole lot of levers, he might put this one in play. And if he does find a spot up close, beware. Gets a big beware here at 9-1.
And number 6, Mountain Dancers, had 3 qualifiers.
3 qualifiers with some gate speed. The lone son of Cattle Wash in here, going out for trainer Rod Boyd. Daryl Thiessen picks up the drive here after Tyler Borth sat behind him in 3 qualifiers. I think you're going to see outside speed here. 6 and 7 likely to leave, and the 2 Dominate, who was looking very sharp on the parade, likely in the mix as well.
And we have to get to is one Studio Boss, because Scott Young, Luke Belay, and this is one that's a $277,000 yearling purchase.
Without seeing him in the qualifier and him kind of tailing off through the back half there, I'm not sure what to expect, but you mentioned trainer Luke Blay, and here's Scott Young on board. A win here wouldn't surprise me, especially seeing those 2-1 odds. There are players getting involved with the rail horse.
And the only one we didn't talk about, we might regret, because it's Austin Sorey and Anthony Beaton, pretty strong tandem.
Right on. We talked about the rest, and maybe we didn't talk about the best. Number 4, Lions, Wyatt Earp, leaving behind the car, Austin Sorey, longest shot on the board. Beware type.
It's a field of 6. Studio Boss, Dominate on the inside. What's in the Shadows and Lions, Wyatt Earp, and to the outside, Mountain Dancer and Speak to the Baron. Field of 6. Race number 6. Prospect Series, 2-year-old pacing colts and geldings. Field for the 6th race is at the start of the rough, and Speak to the Baron and Mountain Dancer on the outside will leave out well, and then What's in the Shadows on the inside and Dominate, Lions, Wyatt Earp, and Studio Boss is trailing the field, but Speak to the Baron and Lauren House spoke to this one early and has come on to get the lead at 11-1, and the other 11-1 horse, Mountain Dancer, is filling the pocket. Then What's in the Shadows is 3rd, Dominate is 4th right now, then it is Lions, Wyatt Earp, and Studio Boss is back trailing the field. Speak to the Baron at 11-1 to the quarter in 28 seconds with Mountain Dancer in tow in the pocket. What's in the Shadows is on the inside, racing 3rd, and is in front of Dominate, and then Lions, Wyatt Earp, and Studio Boss, and they work their way up towards the half of a 28-second opening quarter. No one wanting to pull to the outside just yet. Well, now there is one. What's in the Shadows pops out from 3rd of a 28 opening quarter. The field heads up towards the half, and Speak to the Baron. What's in the Shadows now is coming on. What's in the Shadows is going to muscle up and take the lead and grab it pretty easily from Speak to the Baron. Mountain Dancer wheeled out. Now has come around. Speak to the Baron is taken over 2nd. Speak to the Baron 3rd. Dominate is racing position 4th, and then Lions, Wyatt Earp, and Studio Boss. And Paul McKenzie's got the lead with What's in the Shadows as they race their way by 3/4, and 3/4 time for What's in the Shadows. And Paul McKenzie 128-2, and What's in the Shadows is moving towards the top of the stretch and getting a little bit of urging still, but has a nice lead, is in front by about 4. What's in the Shadows, Dominate, Speak to the Baron, and Mountain Dancer. What's in the Shadows as they come on down the stretch drive and is still comfortably in command. What's in the Shadows muscles on past the finish, in front by about 2.5 or 3. Speak to the Baron, Dominate, and Lions, Wyatt Earp 158-4. What's in the Shadows? We liked how big and strong looking this one was before the start of the race, and well, he kind of looked strong throughout the race.
You know what? Just a big learning curve for the colt son of Shadow Play, who's got that Shadow Play look, of course, and we know what Dr. Ian Moore did with Shadow Play years ago, and here he teams up with Paul McKenzie. Paul's 2nd driving win on the evening, and nice confidence builder for the colt. That 3rd quarter, 28-3, kind of buried the rest of them in there. He was able to skip away, and they just couldn't make it up. Again, a great learning curve for this colt, who had lots of experience, 3 qualifiers, but it's the pari-mutuel start where he learned a whole lot more. He made a big push going up towards the half and looked the leader in the eye, went right on by. So maybe this is it. Maybe this is the big turning point for this goal.
And also teaching him how to race because you saw that Paul kept kind of at him a bunch just so that he didn't kind of fall asleep on the lead.
Might be a little bit lazy, even after after the wire there. He was kind of still chasing him up, not whipping or anything, but just kind of keeping his attention. So might be a bit of a lazy type indeed. What's in the shadows?
Yeah, well, hey. We can all identify with a little bit of that sometimes. It's a 3-7-2-4, and what's in the shadows, but yeah, just we saw this one before the race, and I just thought, he looks awfully large for a 2-year-old. He's got quite a bit of muscle. And of course, as I said, loyal to the Charlottetown, even if you who's from that area isn't. Like I had to be banding for the home team because you got off the home team.
PEIers are showing up here, and even the team, RG Group, limited out of New Brunswick, and the former NHLer, Serge Savard, on the ownership line.
Back in front of us, number 3, What's in the Shadows? A 2-year-old shadow play, Bay Cold, owned by Dr. Ian Moore and RG Group Limited and Serge Savard. Dr. Ian Moore is the trainer. It's the driving double for Paul McKenzie. What's in the Shadows takes his season's debut, mile of 158 and 4. Sixth race, number 3, What's in the Shadows? $6.30, $4 $2.80. 7, Speak to the Baron, $9 $3.20. 2, Dominate $2.10. $2 Exactor, $72.80. Dollar Try, $96.60. Dollar Super, $252.20. 20-cent Super, $50.44. sixth race. Order of finish from the top: 631 for Scratch 52. That's 631 for Scratch 52 on the bottom.
We are back, folks, set to go through the late pick four ticket ideas. We are underway in the pick five with What's in the Shadows, a fabulous looking Colt son of Shadow Play delivering there for Dr. Ian Moore. Paul McKenzie on board, his second driving win on the card. Let's bring up pick 4 ticket ideas. Myself, I've gone deep in the first 3 legs. I've stayed with the pick 5 selections I've used. 1, 2, 4, and 5 for me, though I do love the chances for 5 up. Joey's Credit, major class relief for that one in here. 4 deep again in race 8. And again, 4 deep in the 9th. And we stick with a single on the end of it. Actually, I think we need to add in the 2. TV, if TV had a chance to do that. I did play the 2 on the end of the pick 4 play as well. With the 1 Coalition Hanover, we did find a spot for Magical Arthur as well. Number 2, I would include on the end. And that ticket, with the 2 in there, would cost $25.60. Again, with the 2 in there on the end of the pick 4 ticket. Gary Guy, we can bring up his ticket for the late pick 4.
Maybe they were just trying to save your money.
They were trying to cut that price in half, but no, Magical Arthur, I left room for him there in the pick 4 because I was a little worried about him. Gary in this 7th race using 3, 5, and 4. His top selection here was Paybug, which I've left off my ticket maybe. 2, 7, 5 are the top 3 for Gary in the 7th. He singles up that 2 horse on the trot in race 9. The preferred, our Royal Port. On the end of it, Gary goes to the 2 and 5. Magical Arthur and Smokestack on the return. Conley Ecclestone, 1 more ticket for a late pick 4. 4, 5, the opening leg. Singles up the 6th. Rowdy Patrick, race 8. 3 deep, race 9. 2 deep in the 10th. Went inside to the 1 and 2. Conley's in for just $2.40 on the pick 4 plate. Post Parade is next. Opening leg of a late pick 4 at the River.
There's a look at the Paddock camera presented by the Ontario Equine Education and Employment Program. And the field on the Omega Alpha Pharmaceuticals post parade. 1 is Holy Jalapeno. Jeffrey Hunt for Ken Skinner. Number 2, Control the Gold. Scotty Coleridge, Jessica Hayter, and Ed Hayter. 3 is Paybug. Austin Sorry for Jared Mann and Rod Gnomes and Charles Gazzola. Number 4 is Wild River Bumblebee. Semi Filia for Julie Walker and Dr. John Bradbury. Number 5, up Joey's Credit. Jason Ryan for Jacob Roberts and James Woods. Number 6 is Sir A. Garrett Rooney for Cassidy Schneider and Colonel Schneider Jr. And number 7 is Fox Hunt. Travis Henry for Josh McKibben and Paul Batter. Let's get a look at this field. And, well, Sugar, we have a different opinion on top. And we're going to start with number 5, up Joey's Credit, although Paybug is my top one. And they're both about the same on the tote board, but up Joey's Credit, certainly better recent form than Paybug.
Yeah, I'm going to chase after 5 up Joey's Credit all day with these. This is a major class drop, Gary, and I can't believe he's 4 to 1. He was racing the preferred types in London through the month of May. I mean, if It Takes Two or Doc's Philly Cheese within this race, they'd be 3 to 5 right now. He was finishing 4th to them in London. Now he's gone over to Hanover, last couple of starts where he's closed up well to be 3rd. The only downfall with up Joey's Credit, not a whole lot of gate speed to work with. So he's at the mercy of the pace. But he does fit well. Jacob Roberts training, Jason Ryan on board. One of my favorite photographers in horse racing in Ontario, James Wood, also sharing ownership. And I like the look. I like the body language here for up Joey's Credit. Just needs it to set up for him.
Well, after he left that preferred at London, went to Mohawk May the 19th, mile of 52-1 with a 54-3 back half. So you said he doesn't leave much,
Right.
but boy, did he close much. How about
He's
number
a finisher,
4?
man.
Yeah, how about Wild River Bumblebee? Now look I was on this one last time out, and boy, did I get stung. Finished 7th, just didn't have it, but seconded. Now, third try in this class, and the equipment change. Open to Swedish Blind. Maybe the equipment change will work for Wild River Bumblebee.
It's time for a wake-up call. I'm thinking gate speed with him. He's more than capable of flashing some, too. And the connections are looking for something different. They're switching to the blind bridle tonight. Wild River Bumblebee gets a beware remark. I like his chances. Hate the price. Love the price still on 5, up Joey's credit.
I'm still mad about last week, so I just didn't take him in my top 2, but I still think it was that I do like Wild River Bumblebee as a horse. A lot of back class. He's capable. Number 1, Holy Jalapeno, is one that, just been a fringe player the last couple races, but at least shows heading in the right direction, but still doesn't have a top 3 on the year. Holy Jalapeno, it might be a bit of a reach, but you do get 12-1.
You're getting 12-1, more than capable of hitting the try and superfecta. Should he show up with that 53 speed that he flashed 2 back over Grand River Raceway, gets the rail to work with, might be able to sit in the top 2 or 3. Jeff Hunt stays on board for the owner-trainer Ken Skinner. Holy Jalapeno, just a top 3 threat only for me.
Number 2, Control the Gold. Well, better post position now.
Much better. Gets away from those trailing spots, right? And I'm not a big fan of those. Nose on gate. Gate speed possibility, maybe not, but for sure, likely to sit in the front half of the field here. I like his look. He's a handsome son of Control the Moment. Scott Coulter already in the winner's circle tonight. Another price player to hit the try or superfecta.
And we have to get to number 3, Paybug, because Paybug is my top pick. Austin Sorry, Jared Mann. Jared's got huge win percentage numbers, about 30% on the year. This is one that's not racing well, but drops in class. Maybe he'll turn it around.
Right, the month of June was nothing to write home for this son of always a virgin, but definitely looking to turn things around. And look at the grip that Austin Sorry's got on this horse right now, and he is taking action, which leads me to believe we're going to see more from number 3, Paybug. I just don't want to see him in the winner's circle because I don't have him pegged in my pick 4 play.
I was kind of surprised, 8-5. My God, I thought I'd be getting a bit of a price on one that's off form right now, but he's right up nose on gate. It's Holy Jalapeno and Control the Gold on the inside. In the center, Paybug, Wild River Bumblebee, and up Joey's credit. To the outside, Sir A and Fox on. And the field, it turns into the backstretch. Holy Jalapeno is getting up a little closer on the gate. Now just Control the Gold needing to move into position. It's a field of 7 for race number 7 on a marvelous Monday night at the river. There at the start of the rough end, it is Paybug and Control the Gold, who blast out with Wild River Bumblebee, then Fox Hunt and up Joey's credit, then Holy Jalapeno and Sir A. Control the Gold on the inside with control right now. Wild River Bumblebee is still buzzing on the outside, and Paybug is third in the early action. Racing fourth is up Joey's credit, then Holy Jalapeno and Fox Hunt and Sir A as they race their way on through a quarter of 26-2. Wild River Bumblebee is buzzing right now. Control the Gold is second, and Paybug is third. Then up Joey's credit, racing fourth, and then Holy Jalapeno and Fox Hunt and Sir A. Off that lively opening panel, the field heads up towards the half, and popping out quickly from third comes Paybug to chase after Wild River Bumblebee. Wild River Bumblebee at 2-1 has the lead. Paybug's getting some urging on the outside, and then Control the Gold. Up Joey's credit has moved out and is getting up a little bit closer than a gap of 3 or 4. Back to Fox Hunt, Holy Jalapeno, and Sir A of a half of 55. Wild River Bumblebee for now is holding off Paybug by a head, and Control the Gold. Up Joey's credit is within striking distance and is going to roll 3 wide. It is Wild River Bumblebee and and pay Bug. Up Joey's Credit, control the gold. 3 across the track, and now Pay Bug has come on to take a slim lead, but might have to deal with Up Joey's Credit. It is Pay Bug and Up Joey's Credit as the field turns for home. Then Wild River Bumblebee in control the gold. Pay Bug is dueling, but Up Joey's Credit. On the outside looks alive, Pay Bug. On the center of the track, and on the outside Up Joey's Credit. Up Joey's Credit and Pay Bug as they come to the finish. Up Joey's Credit, Pay Bug was second. Then it is between Fox Hunt and Sir A. 153-1. Up Joey's Credit. Well, we gave them the top two, but you gave them the winner, Sugar.
Oh boy, I really liked him in there, and I loved him after I saw that quarter in 26-2. It set up perfectly for him, and he got a perfect steer. Jason Ryan followed the toe up of Pay Bug, and you couldn't have asked for any better trip. Again, major class relief with a trip like that. It was just it was a beautiful thing. That's all I could say. 153-1 winner. Wonderful to see.
The 7th race was like a trip to McDonald's for you. It was a beautiful thing. And look at my top two were Pay Bug and Up Joey's Credit, but unfortunately the other order. But the thing is, when they left out like that, Austin Sorry then smartly took back. But once you get away third and you wind up first over, you're a little more susceptible to getting beaten.
Oh, tough spot to win from first up on any smaller track like a half mile or a 5/8. And again, with the class relief and the trip this horse got, I mean, Pay Bug did go a big one. He was on go tonight, but Up Joey's Credit found a great spot.
Yeah, Pay Bug was a lot better at least, and so lived up because took surprising action. I wouldn't have taken him on top at
Went away
9 to
as the
5.
favorite.
I wouldn't have bet him as the 9 to 5 favorite. I think I would have gone with Up Joey's Credit instead because I anticipated being able to get 4 or 5 to 1 on Pay Bug based on the recent form. But your top pick, Up Joey's Credit, look, to your credit, I mean, you saw this one in the preferred class, and then we talked about that mile May the 19th at Mohawk, so not a shock at all.
Not a shock for me, sitting on a win completely, and great to see him get there.
It's number 5, Up Joey's Credit, as 6-year-old Up the Credit. Big gelding by Jacob Roberts and James Woods and Taylor Fritz. Jacob Roberts is the trainer. Jason Ryan, the winning driver. Third win for Up Joey's Credit, 153-1. The 7th race, payouts 5 Up Joey's Credit, 620, 310, 260. 3 Pay Bug, 330, 290. 6 Sir A, 590. $2 exactor, 21.40. Dollar try, 159.30. Dollar Super, 897.50. 20-cent Super, 179.50. Seventh race, order of finish from the top. 752-6134. 752-6134 on the bottom. field for the 8th on parade. 1, Cattle Crush. Semi-filly up for Justin Turcotte and Gaston Belay. And number 2 is Shadow Cove. Paul McKenzie for Dr. Ian Moore. And number 3 is Tremonto. Ryan Guy for Mike Wade and Anna Marie Koval and Johnny Marvento. Number 4 is TF Thunderstruck. Lauren House for Angela Clark. Number 5, Trust Me, Hanover. Austin Surrey for Anthony Beaton and David Mercer and Dominican Anthony Shiravalati. Anthony Shiravalli. Number 6 is Rowdy Patrick Garrett Aruni for Corey Giles and Brad Gray. Number 7 is Starlight Dancer. Daryl Thiessen for Rod Boyd. Field of 7. Race number 8. Prospect Series 2-year-old pacing colts and geldings. Let's get a look at this field. And, there is a double-barreled Daryl Starlight Dancer for Rod Boyd and 3 qualifiers to get ready.
I like it. I like the chances, and I like the way this horse has been qualified. A 2-year-old colt son of Art Speak here. So the first time behind the gate, Woodbine Mohawk Park, early June, home in 27 flat. That's like a month ago, and he was throwing 27 flat on the end. The next time out, he's parking to a quarter, 27-1. You don't see that for the rookies in a qualifier, and of course he'd fade back and finish a well-beaten 4th in 58. The next time out, it was going to be from off the pace, and there's nothing wrong with this trip. 3 deep, late, and closing up in 29-1. There's tons of experience dating back to early June. 3 qualifiers under his belt. Like the chances, love the price. 7-1. Starbright Dancer and Thiessen, let's go.
Yeah, and Darrell with 13 wins since Friday supper time until tonight, but so far shut out tonight, so needs to get on the board. Starlight Dancer for Rod Boyd. Number 3, Tremonto. Ryan Guy, 1 qualifier, 29 second final quarter.
That's a pretty good trip over Kawartha, and I said a few weeks ago to you, Gary, I'm going to keep a close lookout for Kawartha starters coming in, and here's one that had the qualifier, and there's nothing wrong with that back half. Certainly nothing wrong with the back 29 flat. Picks up Ryan Guy in the sulky for co-owner trainer Mike Wade. The colt son of Shadow Play, kind of a leggy Shadow Play here, and another price player, 9-1. I'm loving it.
Well, and then number 2, Shadow Cove, and we get the Maritime connection in here. Paul McKenzie for Dr. Ian Moore. And, with 25 years of announcing at Flamborough, I'm almost like a citizen of PEI. And I'm loyal to the PEI here with Shadow Cove and McKenzie. And somebody got a couple on the evening.
Quick question, Gary. Have you ever been to PEI?
No. I never go anywhere.
Oh, come on, Gary.
I've never been on a holiday.
In the cup and saucer at least once.
I've never been on a holiday in my entire life. So,
wow.
One day when they decide they need an announcer that's not ready for the old age home, then I'll go down there. Shadow Cove, tell me. What?
Yeah, Shadow Play. I've been asked a few times recently, actually, am I going to make it home for the summer being PEI? Well, I did a lot of traveling in the spring. I did Alberta, went to Truro, went to PEI. My traveling days are over for a while. May get somewhere in the fall. But let's go back to number 2, Shadow Cove. Dr. Ian Moore training the son of Shadow Play. Paul McKenzie on board. Similar to what we saw about 2 or 3 races ago with number 3, What in the Shadows. Now, this one doesn't have the same look. The Shadow Play look we saw in race 6 with What's in the Shadows, he really, really struck me. But this doesn't have quite the look of that Shadow Play, but the players are on him, 2-1. I've got him pegged as a top 3 threat.
And then Cattle Crush. Well, you told me you got a bit of a crush on Cattle Wash sons.
Do I ever? Many are doing great. Even the fillies are doing good things. Cattle Wash could be a game-changing type sire in Ontario. Even the Bulldog Hanovers, right? I mean, the Bulldog Hanovers we're seeing on track in 2025, really from a test crop, right? He's probably been paired up with some very nice mares for his next crop we'll see in 2026.
Well, the Maritime Connection right now is the favorite. Shadow Cove, well, was the favorite. Look at Rowdy Patrick. Quick thought on Rowdy Patrick because 8-5.
They're coming for him late, and Conley Ecclestone might have got the memo because I believe he singled him in his multi-leg wagers.
Well, one person's there, and of course, along with the fans, 8-5. But I'm on Shadow Cove at 2-1, and well, you're on the outside. It's Starlight Dancer and Double Barrel Daryl, and at a much better price, 7-1. It's Cattle Crush and Shadow Cove on the inside. Tremonto, TF Thunderstruck, and Trust Me Hanover in the center. The outside, Rowdy Patrick, Starbright Dancer. It's a field of 7. It's the 8th race on a marvelous Monday as we are gathered at the river. And the field for the 8th race is at the start of the rough in Rowdy Patrick, Trust Me Hanover, Shadow Cove on the inside, and Tremonto. Then it is Cattle Crush and Starbright Dancer and TF Thunderstruck. Rowdy Patrick dueling with Shadow Cove, but Shadow Cove inside advantage, and Rowdy Patrick is still having to work. Rowdy Patrick on the outside, Shadow Cove on the inside. Rowdy Patrick is going to clear to the front, but not without working hard to get there. Rowdy Patrick and Garrett Rooney's got the lead. Shadow Cove is second and is going to pop back out now, 27-3 opening quarter. And Shadow Cove wants to come right back around and reclaim the lead and is on top. Rowdy Patrick second. Tremonto is third. Trust Me Hanover, Cattle Crush, and then Starbright Dancer and TF Thunderstruck. 27-3 is the opening quarter, and the field heads their way up towards the half, and Shadow Cove leads it a length and a half. Rowdy Patrick second. Trust Me Hanover on the outside now is quickly moving up and looking to catch Shadow Cove napping on the lead. Shadow Cove getting some urging to wake up now. Trust Me Hanover on the outside. Starbright Dancer was last early but is up to third now and is only a length and 3/4 off the lead. 58-3 halftime. And they're dueling. Trust Me Hanover sticks a nose in front. Shadow Cove on the inside tries to fight back, but it is Trust Me Hanover who's come on to get the lead. Starbright Dancer is right there, and on the inside, Shadow Cove is coming back on a bit. 3 across the track, 3/4, 128-1. And center of the track is Trust Me Hanover out wide. Starbright Dancer, and Shadow Cove hasn't thrown in the towel and is still in the hunt. Shadow Cove is trying to come back against Trust Me Hanover. Then Starbright Dancer and Tremonto on down the stretch drive they come. Trust Me Hanover's got the late lead. Trust Me Hanover, Starbright Dancer. It is close. Starbright Dancer maybe got there. Tremonto on the outside was flying late, and Trust Me Hanover on the inside. Starbright Dancer between those two, I think got there. It's close. A 3-way win photo in 158.
I'm not sure, Gary. It's close. I mean, the 7 went a big one, out very wide through that final turn. I loved him in there. Number 3, Tremonto, was coming on very quick. He had the best speed of all on the wide side. I'm just not sure if 7 held or did the 3 go by. Either way, the exactor 7-3 or 3-7. Wicked price.
Well, the interesting thing is those are your top 2. Shadow Cove fought back, but eventually it had to yield way. And Trust Me Hanover was hanging tough for a long time, but I did not think that the 3 got by the 7, so we'll see. Look. I mean, you can be wrong, and it's within a few inches one way or the other, but it's a really solid effort for Starbright Dancer from off the pace, and then Tremonto. Those two weren't heard from much early, but they were heard from at the finish. We're going to get a look at the slow motion. Trust Me Hanover, I thought was going to be hanging tough, but there comes Starbright Dancer into the picture, and then we're going to also see Tremonto on the outside. But as we get to the finish, well, look at that.
Might be the 7, and I'm not sure who got the deuce.
Yeah. I think it's a 7-3-5, but we'll see.
We shall see indeed. Oh, my.
Look at the price. Those are your top 2, 7-3. You gave them an exactor of 7-1 onto 13-1.
It pays $122, Gary.
Man, oh man, oh man. I mean,
Love it.
yeah. And I love not saying too close to call because to heck with that.
Well, I don't think you've been wrong on any of these tight win photos all meet, Gary. So good on you. But you know that wire, and you've got a great spot to call those from. But Starbright Dancer, like I said, what this colt shows in his program lines from those three qualifiers showed he was capable of a trip like that. He's been so versatile in those three qualifiers, and I expected no less. The only thing I was surprised about it is his price at 7-1.
Yeah, they gave him a good education to come into this one, and then it helped that they went a 56 and 3/2 on a mile of 158, so that set the door nicely because he was last early.
You know what? Rowdy Patrick, he took some action in there, and he was a little steppy leaving the car. He was a little steppy around the opening turn trying to clear to the lead. When these 2-year-olds hit the quarter in 27 and 3, it had to set up for a closer. And it did. 7, big trip on the wide side. 3, closed weight. Take your winner circle away.
There's Starbright Dancer, double barrel Daryl Thiessen guns them down. Starbright Dancer, 2-year-old Art Speak Bay Colt, owned by a numbered company from Ottawa. Rod Boyd is the trainer. Starbright Dancer takes the career debut 158 flat with double barrel Daryl and the off the pace from last to first to take the 8th. Eighth race, payout 7, Starbright Dancer, 1610. 745.73, Tremonto 1145.25, Trust Me Hanover 470. $2 exactor, $121.70 try, $279.70 super, $746.95. 20-cent super, $149.39. Eighth race order finish from the top. 642-7351. That's 642-7351. field for the ninth race on parade. 1, Johnny Buckshot, Garrett Rooney for Katie McNeil and Brad Wilson. Number 2 is our Royal Port, Daryl Thiessen for Gerard Demers and Tag Incorporated. Number 3 is JG's pal, Sammy Filia for Brian Lawrence and Stuart Lawrence. Number 4 is Market Banker Chris Christoforou for Camila Christoforou and Dr. Paul Fisher and Dan Fisher. And Marco Arbor. 5 is Southwind Domino, Jason Ryan for Gary Murner and Gino Toscani. Number 6 is Bucktober, Travis Henry for Katie McNeil and Tyler Borth. Number 7, Vera Cruz, Scott Young for Timothy Cherwaco and Gary Green. And 8 is Insanity, Austin Story for Ben Hollingsworth and Michael Goldberg. Field of 8, race number 9, Preferred 2 Trotters. A really nice bunch to get a look at. And, well, Southwind Domino right now is the 9-5 betting favorite and appears to be headed in the right direction as well.
Yeah, we like this son of Walner. Does show 53 and 54 in his latest 2 over Woodbine Mohawk Park. Gary Murder conditions. Jason Ryan on board. Jason certainly knows his way to the winner's circle here. It's a Preferred 2 group of trotters. I don't think there's going to be a heavy favorite in here, Gary. This is, like you said, a great-looking group, field of 8 going behind the gate.
I don't think Southwind Domino is going to drop much below 2-1. Might even go up from there. But look, mile of 53 flat at Mohawk 2 races ago, so certainly has the credentials in here. Southwind Domino. 4, Market Banker, also one that's getting away from Mohawk, as is Southwind Domino. And also 53 and 3 last time out to finish 3rd.
Yes, indeed. The Christoforous are into Allura this evening, and they get a great shot with their one and only Market Banker here. And as you said, 53 speed in 2 of his last 3. The 4-year-old, the son of the bank, home in 27 and 2 last time out. So I really like the chances for this one. 7-2, decent price. Again, like the chances here. Chris Christoforou, one of my favorite drivers for a long time in Ontario.
26-1 final quarter, May the 26th. So, you know, Market Banker can really fly. Right. Number 2, our Royal Port. I'm all over our Royal Port in here. 2 wins in the past 3. Hasn't been racing on the big track and has been kind of traveling around Western Fair, Georgian Downs, here and then up to Rito and back here. He's been getting some frequent flyer miles.
13-time winner last season. Pretty good this season as well. 4 wins, 2 seconds, 2 thirds from 10 outings. And he's a front-end specialist type and more than capable of trotting over the river this evening in 54 and even 53 would not surprise me for the son of Archangel. And he fits well. 9-2. Daryl Thiessen will try to come right back.
Our Royal Port, yeah, I think you're going to see a ton of gate speed blasting. Look at the last couple races. Well, here, right, left out in 26 and 3 and didn't even have the lead. Had to clear past the quarter.
Oh, his game plan's got to be go to the front and see how far he can go. Not how fast he can go necessarily, but how far he can go. He wants to be on or near the lead again.
Number 7, Vera Cruz. I'm not quite sure what to make of this one. Was really impressive as a 3-year-old, and this year just 1 win in 18 starts. But last race, 53-1 at Mohawk, much better. Had been facing tougher and then dropped down. Does show a couple of good starts back late May and June in against tougher as well.
This son of Father Paddock certainly turned things around with the addition of Lasix back in late May. Right off the bat, second best home in 26 and 3. You're getting a huge price on this horse. Unbelievable, in my opinion. 22-1 for Young on 7, Vera Cruz. Big beware, Gary.
And number 3, JG's pal, is taking a lot of coin. Look, this is one that won 9 of 18 last year. It's not only 4 starts this year, but he could be one that will step up. It's just 2-1 right now for one that's 0 for 4 in the top 3 in the year. It's a little short.
Bit of a sleeper here, Gary. Not a whole lot of gate speed to work with, I don't think. Yet to hit the top 3 in 2025. For me, over bet right now at 2-1. My play in here would be a superfecta box 2, 3, 4, 5, 7.
Yeah, and I'm all about our Royal Port. I just think this one has a great chance to grab the lead and then kind of have things all its own way. But we'll see, because there's a lot of talent in here. Johnny Buckshot, our Royal Port, and JG's pal on the inside. In the center, Market Banker, Southwind Domino. And to the outside, October, Vera Cruz, and Insanity. It's a field of 8. Race number 9. Into the backstretch they go. And the field for race number 9 is in the backstretch, approaching the start. Field for race number 9 is at the start of the rough, and our Royal Port's going to blast out with Southwind Domino, and then Johnny Buckshot, Market Banker, and Bucktober's 5th away. Then it is JG's pal and Vera Cruz and Insanity. But right now on the outside, Southwind Domino is going to come on at 4-1 and make it to the front. Our Royal Port is racing the pocket. Johnny Buckshot is 3rd. Market Banker is 4th, and then Bucktober, JG's pal, Vera Cruz, and Insanity. Field of 8 past the opening quarter in 27-4. Southwind Domino has got the lead. Southwind Domino at 4-1. Our Royal Port fills the pocket, and racing 3rd is Johnny Buckshot. Then it is Market Banker and Bucktober. JG's pal, trailing pair, Vera Cruz and Insanity. Off at 27-4 opening quarter, it is Southwind Domino and Jason Ryan who's got the lead. Our Royal Port is right there shipping along in 2nd. Johnny Buckshot is 3rd. Market Banker angles to the outside and is being followed out. JG's pal, Vera Cruz on the inside. Bucktober. Insanity is trailing and popping out from 2nd. Right now comes our Royal Port. Our Royal Port off a half of 58, 30-1 second panel breather, but it didn't help for Southwind Domino to hold off our Royal Port, who's grabbed a lead of a length and a quarter. It is our Royal Port, Southwind Domino. Market Banker on the outside is coming on now, and Southwind Domino goes off stride. It is our Royal Port, Market Banker on the outside. Those two are getting away a little bit. Johnny Buckshot is 3rd. JG's pal is racing for them. Vera Cruz. Our Royal Port's going to try to hold off Market Banker and Chris Christoforou. It is double barrel Daryl and our Royal Port on the inside trying to fight back Market Banker, and a late push from Johnny Buckshot off 3/4, 126-1. Our Royal Port wins it. Johnny Buckshot, Market Banker, and Vera Cruz 155-1. Our Royal Port Sugar.
Nice top pick, Gary. Tripped out for victory. Made the big push through the 3rd quarter where they were sailing 28-1 through that 3rd frame off a soft 2nd quarter breather for the leader, 30-1. Southwind Domino didn't have an answer for our Royal Port, who came calling. Thiessen comes right back here. Just a brilliant victory for this son of Archangel, 155-1. 5-time winner already this season.
That's a pretty aggressive move, but Daryl knew what kind of horse he had, because when he popped out, you're just popping against a horse who's had a breather, and you might get yourself hung out, but he knew, he believed that he had enough horse that he wouldn't get hung out and that he would clear, and he did.
Did too. I mean, it was a nice push, right? He probably went his 3rd quarter 27-4, if not 28 flat, but our Royal Port, he's been doing nothing wrong all season. Now he's got 5 wins, a pair of 2nds, pair of 3rds. That is 9 for 11 on the season. Excellent record.
And judges telling me the inquiry sounded pertaining to number 5 Southwind Domino and action on the final turn, but will not affect our Royal Port and double barrel Daryl. And look, Gerard Demers is having himself a season as well. So we talked about Daryl, but Gerard's pretty consistent.
Right on. One of our leading trainers in London, and anytime he sent horses out with a combination of drivers like Travis Henry or Sammy Filion, now he's pairing up with the hot hands of Daryl Thiessen. So Gerard Demers, he certainly does well with his horses, and he usually has some pretty good drivers up behind him as well.
Well, there's one of them back in front of us. Number 2, our Royal Port, driven to victory by Double Barrel. Daryl Thiessen driving double for Daryl. Gerard Demers is the trainer. Tag Incorporated of La Belle Provence is the owner. And it is a 6-year-old Archangel Bay gelding is our Royal Port. 5th win on this season. 11th. Our 5th win on the season in 11 starts. 20th win lifetime for our Royal Port. 155-1. Fans note after the judges reviewing action at the top of the stretch, the judges have ruled no violations. 2-1-4-7 the top 4. Ninth race, payouts to our Royal Port, 440, 280, 220. One Johnny Buckshot, 740 and $4, and four Market Banker, 340. $2 exactor, $25. Dollar try, $39.65. Dollar super, 260, 20 cents super, 52.04. And the field for race number 9. Ninth race order finished in the top, 215 38647. 215 38647. Field for the 10th on parade. 1, Coalition Hanover semi-failure for Pam Forking, Triple S Equine.
Going to the 3. 3 is up.
3 is Brigus, Jason Ryan for Ken Oliver and Milton Young. 4 is Rose Run Vortex, Paul McKenzie for Terry Gallant. 5 is Smokestack, Travis Henry for Brett Lester and Michelle Tart. And number 6, Liberty Royal, Austin Story for Mitchell Tierney and James Quinn. Number 7, Full Disclosure, Garrett Aruni for Ashley Lenvoy and Gino Toscani. 8 is Highland Hot Sauce, Daryl Thiessen for Michelle Bowen. And number 2 is Magical Arthur, Scotty Coulter drives for Sean Stacy and David Lumsden. Field of 8. The 10th race featuring the Super High 5 with a carryover. Let's get a look into this field. And, well, we'll start with number 1, Coalition Hanover. And your top one, Sammy Filia for Pam Forgy. One that's only got 1 win on the year, but Coalition Hanover does show some improving form.
Yeah, I like the chances for 1, Coalition Hanover. Strong 4th in the latest. Paced the trip 53 and 2. The start before that, it's 53 and 2 as well to finish 5th from off the pace. A rail to work with. And I think there might be enough early speed to have this one racing up close. So Coalition Hanover, my top selection. I will be sticking with it. One more thing, Gary. I know earlier in the day HPI had the carryover featured on race number 10. The carryover for that high 5 actually did get placed on race 5. We saw it pay out. So I think we're just going into a regular high 5 here in the finale.
Well, that's what I thought, and then I thought, okay, maybe I've been asleep. But
no, you've been doing great.
Well,
I just wanted to fill in the players there that we don't want to drive them in the wrong direction here.
Well, we've been driving them in the right direction, or at least you have this evening, and especially with that big exactor 7-1 on to 13-1. I love that.
Oh, you've been hitting as well.
Love
Gary,
that.
now.
But that's a big price, though. Magical Arthur. Well, we tried to leave this one off your ticket, but you insisted to have it on there, and now I see why. 3-5 on the board, getting a lot of love, and was pretty good here 2 races ago.
Yeah, I went hard on this horse last time out, but he got no love. He got no room at the end. He was out all the way to finish fourth. The start before that, he's on the lead all the way. So here he is, getting up close and personal with the fans along the fence. I think he's going to be in for looking to follow a helmet this time around, because you know what? To be on the lead and then to be parked out, I think he needs kind of a tidy trip tonight. So for that reason, I went to 1 on top, but wouldn't surprise me at all to see Magical Arthur show up in the winner's circle. And right now, the players think he can do so. They've got him pegged at a 4-5 favorite.
Scotty showing some patience there. Look, at the reason why the horse was standing still, Scotty, is because we wanted to hear what the heck they're saying. He wanted to hear Sugar say, "Come on, man, last time I just got a rough trip. I come back to me again." How about number 8, Highland Hot Sauce? Do you think Daryl could 16-1?
Yeah, I think with the 1 and 2 in here, it could go either way, 1-2 or 2-1 for the high 5. So you're going to need some value in behind it, and I think your best shot at value is this outside chance for Highland Hot Sauce. Finished up well to be second in the latest 53 speed. I think that's what bottoms out the remainder of the field beyond the 1 and 2. I don't think there's another horse in here that can show the 52 or even 51 speed needed to win this race. I think both 1 and 2 are more than capable of pacing a mile tonight in 51 or 52. The 8 looks like he can go 53 off his latest, but I don't think there's a shot for any one of the others to show 52 speed here tonight beyond the 1 and 2, Gary.
And Daryl was trying to keep him from being too hot and saucy there, had him down in the infield. Look, he dropped to this class last time out and raced a lot better. Quick thoughts on 3, Brigus, and 4, Rose Run Vortex.
More value to shove underneath the 1 and 2 in the high five play. 22-1 for number 3 Brigus. You're getting 19-1. Rose Run Vortex. If that one wants to show up with some back class, Mackenzie's had a big night.
And, well, I've been loyal to him, and you've abandoned
Right.
the Maritimes, but I've shown some loyalty to your home area. And I did throw Smokestack onto the ticket second at 9-1, even though he's racing off the left. We'll see what happens to Smokestack, but it's Coalition Hanover, Magical Arthur, Brigus on the inside. Rose Run Vortex, Smokestack in the center, and to the outside, Liberty Royal, Full Disclosure in Highland Hot Sauce. Field of 8, 10th and final dash. And the field for the 10th race is in the backstretch, gathering speed, approaching the start. They're at the start of the rough, and Full Disclosure is going to blast with Rose Run Vortex, Magical Arthur, and Coalition Hanover. Magical Arthur and Coalition Hanover, the first two right now. Rose Run Vortex, Liberty Royal. Then racing position 5th is Smokestack, then back to Brigus and Full Disclosure, and Highland Hot Sauce is back trailing the field. Magical Arthur has got the early lead. Coalition Hanover is second. The top two picks on the tote board, 6-5 and 7-5, leading as they come up off the opening quarter at 27. Rose Run Vortex is racing position 3rd. Then racing 4th is Liberty Royal. And 5th is Smokestack. Then it is back to Brigus and Full Disclosure and Highland Hot Sauce. 27-second opening quarter. Scotty Calder and Magical Arthur has the magic early. Leads it by about a length and a half over Coalition Hanover. 55-4. It was a solid half. And Coalition Hanover is trying to stay close with Magical Arthur. Rose Run Vortex 3rd. There goes Smokestack on the outside now. And moving up. And Liberty Royal is racing 5th. And then it is Brigus and Highland Hot Sauce and Full Disclosure as the field races their way on towards 3/4 off that 55-4 halftime. Magical Arthur. Smokestack is right up now within striking distance, only half length off the lead, 3/4, 124. From the backfield, Highland Hot Sauce now is saucy. Coalition Hanover is 3rd, Liberty Royal is 4th, and Highland Hot Sauce is kicked in and is out wide and is charging. And Smokestack was able to grab the lead from Magical Arthur. But here comes Highland Hot Sauce. It is now Smokestack and Highland Hot Sauce. Smokestack is going to smoke him in the 10th, and then Coalition Hanover, Highland Hot Sauce, and Rose Run Vortex 153 flat. Smokestack Sugar.
I couldn't get there, Gary, but you did. You liked Smokestack in there, and I wanted to see him once, but I don't have to see him again. He brought his game tonight. 153 flat to win right off the bench. He's back in play.
Takes a little nerve to take him, considering the last time he raced was April 3rd, and he finished 7th in a bottom condition class. But also remember that this is a pretty nice horse, and he took a mark of 50-2 last year. He had a good season last year, and he qualified twice, and that most recent qualifier here was 55-3, and then he stepped it up from that. But 2 qualifiers to get ready.
Tell you what, Travis Henry, when he moved him, this horse came with authority. I mean, it was never in doubt that he was going to go right on by the pace setter, Magical Arthur. No answer for that one tonight, but nice closing up finish to be 3rd for Highland Hot Sauce. The deuce goes to the 1, maybe? Coalition Hanover?
Yeah, Coalition Hanover, 5-1-8, and then I think it was Rose Run Vortex. And
could be a high five carryover once again, with the 2 off the ticket.
Yeah, and
if the high five is sold, it's going to pay huge. If it's not, carryover into Wednesday.
Well, the Smokestack is sitting at 8-1, so that's already. Now the 1 is 7-5, but I thought Magical Arthur stuck around for 5th, but you get 8-1 on top, and then you got that Highland Hot Sauce, Rose Run Vortex. It might not pay, but regardless, we'll see. We will talk to you on Wednesday night, Sugar.
Sounds good. Great job, Gary. Take care.
51842. Back in front of us is 5 Smokestack. 6-year-old Sweet Lube, gelding, owned by Michelle Letarte and Brett Lester. Brett Lester is also the trainer. Travis Henry, the winning driver. Second win this season. 13th lifetime for Smokestack. 153 flat. Tenth race, Pales 5, Smokestack. 1950, 698.41, Coalition Hanover. 293.10, 8 Highland Hot Sauce, 12.60. $2 Exactor, 92.40. $1 Try, 296.80. 20-cent High Five, 956.17. Double of 2 and 5, 49.20. The Dollar Pick 3, $217. Dollar Pick 4, $817.50. And the $1 Pick 5 is $2,804.10. Tenth race, order finish from the top, 257-41683. That's 257-41683 on the bottom.